Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Seneca County Board of Commissioner budget hearing. This is a work session. Today is Tuesday, September 30th, 2025. We will be visiting with we will be looking at 5 different budgets. We're opening up with Judge Meyer, who will talk about the juvenile probate and then the youth center.
Sure.
So we'll open the meeting.
We have Stacy carry the water on this one. Obviously, you know her as my court administrator. She's the numbers and person that I work with to put our budgets together, and so she gave you a nice handout to kind of you guys can follow along as far as some pertinent information.
I get it.
And so I'm going to turn it over to her to kind of just give you an overview of.
We appreciate you coming in. This
this is new.
As much for our benefit as your benefit. We just want to kind of get to understand all the departments a little better, and so we appreciate you coming in.
We did what was asked. I think you guys asked for a budget that didn't call for any specific staff raises, and I guess at the appropriate time, I guess the court's expecting something this year, just for our staff, and we can talk about that at the appropriate time. But we comply with your request to make it neutral as it relates to staff increases.
Okay.
So I'll turn it over to Stacy now.
And I'll just keep it brief, that way if you have any questions, probably better off answering questions. We submitted the budget, again, like Judge said, with no salary increases. We didn't ask for any increases other than the travel line in the youth center. It was increased a little bit, so we're asking for what we had asked for in 2025, which we did get cut in 2025. Supplies, contract services. I listed on here for you what we had to come back and ask for. We tried not to do that. And if we did, we had a revenue source for it. I think we had to ask for $1,500 for an adoption. We submitted that to the Public Defender's Office for reimbursement. We moved some money around to cover the travel, so we didn't have to come back and ask for travel for 2025. So we made that work. We did get a grant for body armor vests that we got reimbursed for. And youth center, we had gotten cut contract services, and obviously we needed that for, you know, nursing and food, all dependent upon how many kids we have and what that number's going to be, which is like most of our.
That was a question I had, so you answered that.
Yeah, we actually didn't have enough money to put in place for the full contract, but we do now.
Okay.
And then the second page then is kind of revenue sources. Let Stacy give you an overview of that.
Yep, I just wanted to let you know, if you didn't already know, these are some of the things that we do in the court to try to help offset our budget. We've got a wonderful staff. I mean, Kathy Bean, she works really hard on 4D.
Yep.
You have to really be meticulous. Same with Public Defender. You have to be on time or you don't get the reimbursement. So I just listed what we collected in 2024 and then what we've collected so far in 2025. And it even included the revenue that's brought into the general fund since judges came in office.
I guess I want to just focus briefly on the 4D, and just from a historical standpoint. Before I was judge, we did not collect that. Judge Kuchar didn't believe it was worth our staff's time to do. This takes extra effort for us to document and be able to submit this and get this reimbursement. If you're not familiar with 4D, basically it's the federal government helping reimburse us for helping collect child support and establishing child support orders. And so the idea of that money is supposed to go towards providing magistrate time and clerk time and staff time to do this. But I think the important thing is that it's not something the court has to do. And in fact, it wasn't done before I became judge. And so it's become a consistent revenue source. I know a lot of counties, Sandusky County in particular, they don't return that money to the general fund. It goes straight to Judge Smith's budget. He keeps the money himself. And so when we set this up, and the desire to be a team player with the county, we directed that money, and we've always directed that money back to the general fund. So, and it's been, as you can see, it's a significant dollar amount, and And that's due to the hard work of my staff.
I guess I did not know that, so that's one of the benefits of getting together today.
Yep. 2024
Yeah,
was
nice
the
job.
largest we got from 4D so far, so.
And we have 171 collected so far. We have some more months to go.
Yep.
And I would expect that probably to eclipse the 200,000 mark
Yep.
this year as well.
And all those 2025 numbers are as of current. I do have expected revenues if you needed those, but I didn't figure you need those. We plan on hitting our projections, so we're good. And just a couple others, mental health and recovery services. We get grants for the youth center. They help us provide mental support for the kids.
Yep. Assessments, group
Yep.
sessions,
Yep.
individual counseling, yep.
Yep, and so they've been a wonderful partner. They increased us a few years ago prior to me. So that's been a great partnership. They also give for Public Guardian. Obviously, you know, that's age.
Yep.
Allen Irie as well. Allen Irie was developed for Seneca County. So that also pays for our Public Guardian. No general fund money gets used for our Public Guardian. And we couldn't do that without the grants.
And just for comparison purposes, there's been a joint effort by, I think, Wood County's in it, Hancock County's in it, and some other surrounding counties are in it, where they put together their own indigent guardianship program. And just so you guys know, the cost, like Hancock County puts in about $125,000 a year from their general fund to help fund that. So does Wood County. And so we're able to provide similar protective services for our folks that need guardianship services without coming to you guys. And so we were in fact contacted by the mental health in MIRCHA, that board, you know, they're helping put that together, and they're like, are you guys interested? And it's like, we're looking at it, it's like, well, we can, for less money and no impact to the general fund, we're providing a similar service, I guess, providing protection, a similar amount of wards. And so, and again, I'm not saying that I spawned this money. Obviously, Allen Irie and certainly MIRCHA helped us with that extra 20. But just something, I guess, that it's become a real need in our area as far as indigent guardianship protection services. We're doing it. You guys don't have to pay a dime toward it. So I think it's a great program that we have, and it's tremendous savings for the county.
I have a question. So,
Yep.
Juvenile probate, you work with veterans, senior citizens. Can you expand the probate side?
What probate is in
Yeah,
terms
so
of type of cases?
Yeah, I think so, because when you say juvenile, that's one thing, but then when there's an opening at the Veteran Administration, you appoint them, and guardianship for seniors and like
Sure.
that kind of stuff. I guess I don't think like that.
Well, probate isn't the glamorous side that gets a lot of the press. The juvenile side is easy.
You don't have to die to be under probate.
Right, that's right.
Okay, that's what we're going with.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
Yeah, but
and even the juvenile side, people don't realize, they think of juvenile crime. Obviously, any delinquency action comes before me, or unruly action comes before me, but also on our side of the house, remember, any custody order, any visitation order for people who have kids without the benefit of marriage, those cases come before us. And certainly societally, more people are having kids without being married. So those cases, our caseload has increased. Judge Schuff, Judge Altz has decreased over time. It's because it used to be most of the child support cases and visitation cases were on their docket because most people are married. Society has changed. So we have those. We have the abuse, neglect, dependency cases. In any foster care, you guys are familiar with that. I'm sure the money associated with that, but we handle all those cases as well. Probate, I guess the best way to describe what probate is just to give you different types of cases that we do. We talked about estates. That's when you die. We joked about that. So obviously, this is the court you go to get your matters settled once you pass away. Then you have obviously guardianships. The state legislature has designated me as the superior guardian of Seneca County. What that means is my job is to protect people that can't protect themselves.
So it's in all ages.
All ages.
Period.
And so,
Right.
and the law then provides I can delegate that responsibility as superior guardian through guardianships and appoint people to make those decisions to take care of people. So you have guardianships. On top of that, what you find with probate is if the state legislature doesn't know where to put something, they give it to the probate judge, all right? And so there's all kinds of weird, I have a list of all the weird, wacky appointments.
Right.
You know, whether it be, if there's a vacancy with a township trustee and they can't figure it out, then give it to the probate judge, you know, and all these little wacky, not wacky, but certainly important boards that you wouldn't think be applicable for. Give it to
Not
the
juvenile probate, yeah.
We also do civil commitments, so if folks need to be hospitalized against their will, those type of cases get filed with us as well. Name changes, someone wants to change their name, that comes in front of us as well. If someone needs to dig up a body, have a body exhumed, guess what? Probate court, that's where that gets filed as well. And so I guess I could probably give you other examples, but that's kind of.
That's really helpful to me.
The things that we do.
Marriage license?
Marriage license, of course, you get married, yeah.
Adoptions?
Yeah, another big one. All adoptions come through us as well. And so it's not the glamorous stuff that makes the front page paper, but it's important work that we do, and it takes time and effort to do it. Does that answer your question?
It helps a lot. How about you, Commissioner?
Yes, I have. So do you guys work with the juvenile as far as having them out, kind of like we have the sheriff's department guys do things? Do you have a program like that go around and pick trash up or do whatever?
Of course,
Yep.
of course. So we have
Work crew?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, so
yeah.
Mr. Jarrett heads up that program. So we do, it's the Community Service and Restitution Program. And Mr. Jarrett's our Director of Community Outreach. And so he's in charge of that. He's in charge. We have, through DYS grant funding, money that we have set aside for kids to earn by working towards restitution. So one of the problems we have when kids commit crimes, people are victimized and they spray paint something. But most kids don't have jobs or trust funds, all right? And so how do they pay back these victims? So we've set some money aside where kids can earn at a rate of minimum wage towards restitution. So they go out and Mr. Jarrett take them out and work them, and then we can get victims paid with those grant funding. So we have that. That's a great question. So that you wonder how you have so many people over there. It seems like a lot. So Kendra Shears, my Director of Court Services, and she oversees my probation department. She oversees all my programming. She oversees all of our community service and restitution. And so there's lots of programming pieces that go in place to work with kids. And so when kids are placed on probation, it's not just a matter of doing community service, where we're connecting them with resources such as counseling assessments, getting the restitution paid for, and different programs that we do. And it's usually program specific. So if a kid got busted for shoplifting, we have shoplifting programs. If they get busted for vaping, we have vaping programs and things of that nature. So it's a lot of moving parts for sure.
Good. Well, that's what you brought up Judge Smith. So about 3 months ago, so I'm going home and there's a band there, Sandusky County Juvenile Service. So they're out on my road pick up trash. So I said, I said, hey, thank you guys, but I said, you realize you're in Seneca County? I said, you're about a mile and a half in. So,
awesome.
so that I did see Brad at the fair. I say, well, thank you for picking up my road.
Yeah.
No idea, but that's what. I thought that's a good program.
Well,
I thought we'd have something similar to that or whatever.
And actually, our engineer has helped us out. Mark has graciously donated one of his trucks to help Mr. Jarrett. And he helps us. He maintains the truck for us and lets Mr. Jarrett use it to take care of it. And
That's nice.
we have vans, and we do a lot.
Good.
And the engineer will call Jim and, hey, there's a whirlpool. Yes, we actually had a whirlpool. He had to go pick up a sauna or whatever. Whirlpool. And
Like in a
Jim-
ditch somewhere?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's amazing what they'll find. And
It flew off of a truck or something, or
Right,
fell off of
yeah.
a truck, or...
That's very nice of you to think that way.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's done, it's broke.
It's broke, we're just, but
Yeah.
yes, that's...
mattresses.
Yeah.
Previous years as trustee, I can tell you.
Yeah, I believe me,
not lots
yes,
of
I,
fun- yeah,
it
flying
doesn't
out.
fall off a truck, but that's the excuse that they use, it fell off the truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we even, Jim tracks the mileage that he does, the hours that he does. I didn't bring anything with me, but.
Number of bags collected.
Yep.
Jeez.
And how much is
That'll be in
recycled.
your annual report?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Which-
That has
Nice.
pictures,
Yeah.
you can't take necessarily pictures of the kids and publish them, but,
Right.
you see the items that they're picking up, you see the garden out to the youth center they're working on. They put a greenhouse out to the youth center that the kids will be able to, you know, learn how to grow plants, which kind of excites me. I'm into plants.
That under part of the barn out at the ag buildings, it was all full of junk in there.
Mhm.
He had a couple of guys out there cleaning up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've told Ed that if he needed assistance, and him and Jim Jarrett, they work together and get stuff done. And
Yeah, they probably have a waiting list. Projects. We want to get on the list.
So with that program, so that the kids
pretty
that have
cool.
to pay restitution, they track the hours, and then those hours are then converted to a dollar amount to pay back.
Go to the victims.
Yep,
that's out
That's
of
awesome.
Reclaim.
yep, or Reclaim Ohio grant,
Yeah.
which I think I've talked to you guys about that in the past. It's, that's where the
I wasn't aware of that.
Department of Youth Services, they have a program, they started back in the, I think it was in the maybe 90s. They wanted to encourage counties to take care of kids locally. Back then, there was an epidemic of juvenile courts just sending kids to DYS. And so what they did, they decided to come up with a financial incentive for counties to take care of kids locally. And so they said, we have these grant dollars, and there's a formula for how much you can potentially get. And part of that formula is, you know, how many kids you have in the DYS facility, how many days that they're in. Those are two of the primary factors that that dictate what you get. And so over the course of time, our counties enjoy getting anywhere from $150,000 up to $300,000 a year, and we use those dollars to pay for probation officers, to pay for a lot of services through the county. And so when I have sometimes some tough nut kids that come in front of me that have to send, it impacts our budget. So if I send a kid for a year to DYS, it likely impacts at least 30 grand out of that Reclaim budget, or at least what we could potentially get. So what gets really hurtful for us is that I have 2 or 3 kids that I have to send for safety of the community. It impacts us. And I think maybe I'm not sure if I talked to you, Tony, at one point we're getting kind of tight on that, and we've been able to manage it, that, you know, for, you know, these things I have control over and I don't, you know. And what makes me different than Judge Schuff and Judge Alt is wherever I place a kid, ultimately we have to pay for it. So whether it be at our detention facility, I'm paying for that there. But if I send a kid anywhere else, if they go to DYS, there's a cost. And whereas Judge Schuff can send someone to prison and it doesn't cost Seneca County a dime, you just can send them.
Yeah.
And so it creates a little bit of a challenge for the court. You're trying to balance resources, knowing that if you send someone, it's going to impact us, and it might cost us the ability to maybe replace a car. We use those Reclaim dollars to buy a lot of our fleet vehicles over the course of years. We use those dollars to pay for a lot of things for the staff, and so those are tough decisions that juvenile judges have to make. So, good questions.
How was the state friendly to you in this last budget? Next 2 years? That was
Well,
approved? Did they cut things? Did you get what you wanted?
our dollars come from you. Our dollars come from Reclaim Ohio. Those are 2 primary sources. And so as it relates to
Okay.
Reclaim, things have been stable. Each year, like a lot of things, they kind of cut a little bit. In the old days,
Try to tighten it.
back when Judge Kuchar was there, you could have the huge carryover. So let's say through Reclaim that year, we got $350,000, we only spent $250. You could just roll it over and still have those dollars. Now they really limit the dollars you can roll
Okay.
over. It's almost like you have to spend it or lose it type of thing. And so we don't have the fluff that we used to have. We don't have the fluff in our budget thanks to Stacy that we used to have, because
Yeah,
she knocked
put you down.
knocked it out of there before she came over here.
In my previous life.
Now, most of these grants and revenue items, are they an annual
Pretty
thing, or
stable,
do you
yeah.
get
I mean,
2 or
obviously,
3 year?
like our detention fees, that's what we're charging other counties to house their kids. And
Yeah.
so that's going to be pretty consistent,
This
anywhere
is-
from
I guess a
80
good
to
word,
100.
stable.
Yeah,
Right.
I would say stable.
Predictable.
4D, I would say it's been a stable source for a number of years. Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of volatility. There's some up and down.
If you had one big surprise and you had to come to the commissioners, what would it be? What would it be, other than buildings? We'll say that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, outside of buildings, there is not going to be
Yeah.
a huge surprise. I guess the huge surprise might be if, let's say on probate, I had to hire a bunch of experts, or even on the juvenile side, where the types of cases where I had to hire different experts for those cases, and sometimes it's hard to anticipate those things, and it's hard to really budget those things. Court-appointed counsel, we've been pretty good at managing that resource over time, but I can't control it. We have a run of cases that require constitutional protections, and lawyers have to be appointed, and I guess that. But even those, there's kind of a lead time where you can kind of see it building and see we're kind of running short.
Some water.
Sorry, I got
Here, I got one for you right here.
went down the wrong pipe.
But I mean, the biggest challenges that we're facing right now, obviously, is the building issues we're talking about at the youth center. That's some bigger dollar issues, and I appreciate the commissioner's willingness to work with us to preserve those grant dollars, that 60/40 grant. We've rolled that then into working on security instead of the HVAC. And so I guess we're anticipating, and it's our understanding that you guys are going to fund that 40% so we can get the benefit of those state dollars. So we have that out there, HVAC issue that's out there. And then for me, the primary concern is just our staff, and I know this isn't the time you want us to talk about that. Last year we only did 2% for the staff, and obviously I think we've gone backwards. You look at just the increase to health. Let's say hypothetically the commissioners gave someone making $20 an hour a 3% raise. That ends up only being $500 after you back out the additional $500+ increase in healthcare costs if they're on the county plan. And so, there's obviously if a raise is granted today, everyone isn't going to walk out January 1st, but we're going to start having problems retaining good people. I've got a great staff, I really do, and I want to keep those. And that, to me, the revenues have been relatively strong for the county, and I know you guys have to work with that process, and we're going to respect that process, but it's going to be really hard for this judge to go back to my staff and say nothing. You guys get nothing after a 2% last year in light of, again, what the revenues are for the county. And so that's kind of where I'm hoping that I'm not offered nothing. So questions about my staff in terms of those dollars. I mean, I know, unfortunately, I have a lot of people I employ. So the difference between me and Judge Shuff and Judge Alt is I got a lot. 3% means a lot more for me than it does for them in terms of a dollar figure for you guys. And I know it's you always gave me that number. 3% is it 600,000 or 500 something? You would tell me.
It's generally about 600,000.
1% is like 150,000, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I don't know when you get PERS.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I get
But
that.
we get it.
We're we make those decisions that we're
totally understand that.
So.
On the buildings, I want to so on your annex, which is now 20+ years old.
Yeah.
Ed's over there working. Do you have any issues with the annex that you're aware of?
None that Ed isn't working on. I know he's working on some lighting in my courtroom. I had a little disco party for a number of months where I'd be up there and lights be flashing. So, but he's told me they're going to be replacing the fixtures towards the end of the year, next year. Still working through a parking lot issue. The parking lot issue is it was designed for 6 spaces.
It's tight.
And they painted it for 5. And the odd man out has been my youth center staff. Okay, and so, and the way they can't just pull in, because then somehow you have to have them back out into the street is a problem. We've had a couple of cases recently where some kids have acted up. They needed to be handcuffed and removed, and because my detention staff isn't able to use that as a drop-off. We had the one case where the kid was brought out to the street and handcuffs basically drug out there in front of the public. And for the kid's privacy, and certainly from a liability standpoint for the county and protection of my staff, I'm asking Ed to look at what that lot would look like if we did 6 spaces. I know it'd be tight, but I gotta have my detention. I mean, every step of the process when we were doing the community kitchen called for 6 spaces. 1 for each of the electeds and a space for my retention staff. So that's something we're looking at. I'm talking with the other electeds about that as well. So we're trying to come up with an internal solution that doesn't impact the county, but just if you see people out there measuring slots and spaces, I joke with Judge Alt, I'm not worried about Judge Alt banging my door. All right, if we have to park a little bit closer.
He's got the big truck, he already told me
He'll-
that. He might get a smaller truck.
He'll do that. It's certainly, we know it's gonna get worse as the season changes, if we get ice and snow and working with that and trying to make it work. But, I know that the purpose of that bullpen or that fence was to provide protections for the judges.
Yeah.
My, of course, being raised like all the three guys here was, I take care of others before myself. And so if we can't find a solution, then I'll have them use my spot and I'll park in one of the spots out there.
You can run to work.
Yeah.
Just jog.
Yeah, that's right. You're right.
Yeah.
So, but it's something,
Well, you were the one before there, you were here, we finally got your staff parking.
yeah, we do.
Over there behind, across from the Reds.
Yep.
What do we call that?
City
Stone
Lot
Lot?
3.
City Lot
City-
3.
Yeah, City
Yeah.
Lot 3.
So for 2 years, everybody parked wherever, all your employees.
Right, well, and the priority
And
of this
finally, as
judge,
commissioners, negotiated, got that done.
I don't think the highest and best use of downtown parking is my staff, for my staff. I
So
think
they
it should be
still
for
fit
jurors, it
walk.
should be for people trying to do business in downtown Tiffin, and should be preserved for folks trying to make a living in downtown Tiffin. And I have to tell you, I'm not always popular with my staff, because they say, well, why we have to walk down there and the other staffs park right over here? And I tell them, I don't care what other people do. We do what we think is right, so.
Yeah. Okay, so from our perspective, you just work it out with Ed and Barb.
Yeah, we're just trying to
Figure it
find a
out.
solution that makes
Figure it
sense.
And I will
Yeah.
say, in all those conversations that I was involved in, there were supposed to be six spots in
And-
that bullpen.
And when it was painted, I think someone like, well, those are kind of tight, and they thought maybe we could park, you could see that they did a
Mhm.
spot next to the church. If someone parks there, no one can leave. And not to mention, if you park there, you can't turn around. And so it was a good, if you park there, you can't get out on the left side of your car because there's
You're all the way
a
up
wall
against
there.
the- Yeah.
So it didn't quite work out.
So how are things out with you at your building?
Pretty good.
Progress?
Yeah, yeah. I work pretty closely with Ed. Whenever we have any kind of issue, he typically gets it taken care of in pretty short term. I know I can't remember whoever the engineer out of, was it Fremont?
Oh,
I think.
fish,
Yeah.
Fishback.
Fishback,
Out of
yes.
Maumee.
Yeah,
That
that's what it was,
Maumee.
yeah. I think they're looking at, what some of the piping is too small,
Mhm.
for the building and some other things, so I'm anxiously awaiting.
For 3 years of all we need to do this, do that one is something new,
Yes.
which makes total sense, by
Yeah.
the way, right?
Oh,
This
absolutely.
whole thing now, is done, I think. Do you
Yeah.
like the path, from your perspective, we're headed
Yeah,
to get it resolved?
yeah. I would just like a warm building in January 5th.
Right.
Right, be able to use all of our cells.
Yeah,
So we're funding that, commissioners are funding this, we're gonna do the match, so we're good there. We're just hoping that this works, everything we're doing.
I think Ed is approaching the problem with common sense, which, I can't speak to how it was done in the past, but I mean, everything he's, brought up and looked into, it makes sense to me. So,
Sometimes you don't need a master's in mechanical engineering to figure something out.
Yeah.
You just need a farmer that's been working for a little bit. Okay, well, that's good to hear. Yeah,
He's done an outstanding job since he's taken over as director. He inherited
That's awesome.
a facility that was struggling with staff hiring and retention, and he, along with his number two, Marissa Seitz, they've got their hands around it now, and we are relatively fully staffed. Morale.
Fully staffed.
Is it fully staffed?
Yep.
And it's not an easy job to run a 24/7 facility, and he's on call every minute of the day, so doing an
It was the
outstanding
job. Well, we appreciate you stepping up and helping our county out. It's good.
Absolutely.
Any questions from you?
As we talk a little bit more about, after the fact, but preventive, Family Children First Council, there's some changing, if you've got a good relationship, what's?
Sandy
Sandy,
Hallett
yep.
does a nice job. And we have a member from our court, Kendra, sits on that board. I would say a positive relationship. I'm looking forward to the relationship between the Family and Children First Council improving with our Department of Job and Family Services. I know in the past it hasn't been as strong as I would have liked. So I'm hearing more collaboration. Certainly as our new director gets her feet under her, and I think hopefully we'll see more of that. But I guess to answer your question directly, I've a strong relationship with Sandy. She's an easy phone call for me to make, and I've known her for a number of years, and she has the heart for it, which is the perfect place to start for someone doing that job, so they have the heart for the type of kids we work with. And so they've been instrumental in helping us get placement for kids. They have sometimes some funding that we can use to get kids placed where we don't have to go back to the county or through the department to pay for that, so that's been a great resource for us. But no complaints from me in terms of how they're doing.
Well, and the concerning is that, they've run out of grants for Jamie and stuff on that, so that's.
And she has contacted us to see.
I just talked to her about an hour and a half ago and stuff on that, so she's out trying to make
Yep.
deals to help here and there and stuff with it, so that's what I just.
They reached out to us, asked if we had money.
Yeah.
Of course, you guys see where our money's
Yeah,
at.
right, yeah,
You're like,
right.
hey, you have some money for this
Yeah.
program. It's pretty well spoken for.
We said, Judge Meyer's got it all, just go get that, right,
That's
yeah.
She said, you guys got a hearing coming up here, can you help? But,
Important program.
yes, absolutely.
Do you want to bring up insurance?
You can.
We're talking about,
And your
Health insurance,
IT,
Tony.
Your IT.
like, you
No,
want-
health insurance.
Health insurance.
Oh, just the rate, yeah, did you see
Yeah.
the final numbers?
Yeah.
So we're absorbing that. So there was a period of, go back 7 years, I don't know, there were 5 years where the employees basically didn't have any increases out of their pocket. Last year, we went up 7%. This year, we're going up 11% from the employee side, but the county's still paying 85% of the premium. The total premium, I'm glad you're sitting down, went up $606,000. And the impact to us, and you're well aware of that, is around half that. So the general fund's got to take a hit of 300 to start the conversation out, but there's not much we can do about it.
Yeah.
We're with SEPCO, we're with the county consortium. Everybody's doing everything they can to mitigate the cost. The weight loss drugs, we took out. They've done a lot of things to try to keep the cost down, but yet provide good coverage. So that's where we're at, yeah. And then our property insurance, Corsa, went up
They say it would be up to 10% next year.
10%, so we're trying, there. But we'll just throw that out to work with this, so when your employees, if anybody complains about the 11%, it's still minimal. If we would have gone to 20%, which we thought about an 80-20, which most industry is, that would have been a 43% increase to the employees. Get them up to paying 20% of the premium, and we're gonna stick with 85-15. So we approved that. We kept the HSA the same. We kept the wellness program the same. So.
The health insurance piece, from a historical standpoint, when I first became judge,
Yeah.
We didn't pay a lot, but the health insurance was gold star.
Yeah.
And so you get, and that's what's probably pushed the pressure to increase wages, is when I first started, my staff as clerks probably made less than what the private sector did as far as their pay, but they took those jobs because the health insurance was just put the card out there and you weren't paying for anything. And we went through a real difficult shift when we shifted to more of a private sector rate versus public. We lost a lot of people,
Then we went to the HSA only.
Yeah, it's just, so that was always the MO for hiring. You find someone who was really talented, make them a clerk, and they would take it because they had great benefits. Usually their husband worked somewhere, did something else, and that sounds sexist, but a lot of our staff is
Yeah.
female on the clerk side of it. And it's just, that's changed. So just know that, you know,
Yeah.
as health insurance goes up, from a market standpoint, the wages have to go up
pressure.
to be competitive, because our health insurance is similar to the private sector. So, but
Yeah,
these are real
just-
dollars, this
just
is real
sharing that
stuff,
with them.
and I think sharing information is good, because it helps
Yeah.
us to understand,
Yeah, just
hopefully you guys can
understand.
understand us too.
That's our biggest increase. Did you want to have, you have any other?
Oh, I have plenty of stuff.
Let's go. Yeah.
You guys have written on your needs list, carpet cleaning, say it's not being cleaned properly and stuff. I think Judge Shuck brought up something about carpet cleaning and having something done first
In the
of the year
spring?
in the spring.
Yeah.
Maybe something to
Are you
discuss
scheduled for that?
then.
Are you just telling us that, or you want to?
I think it's on Ed's radar.
Yes,
So-
and he brought a contractor out, and they were doing measurements, and he told me that it was for carpet cleaning, but I hadn't heard any updates at then.
I have
I
not
think
got,
we're gonna
I've
wait-
not seen any quotes or anything
No
like
quotes,
that,
but I think
but
we're waiting to get through the winter, so that way,
So that-
you know,
the-
now we're tracking
with all
in,
the
spring
every-
we'll do it then. so
the
it
salt
keeps
and all
going.
that would be trying
I
to
mean, I
get.
don't want it to look dirty, but it's gonna get dirty again in the middle of the winter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see, I didn't see
No, that's
that.
fine.
Yeah. Clean team, I've asked Ed a few times to reach out to them.
It's not just your department, we're having issues other places as well.
Is that who
and-
cleans here?
No, we have a different cleaning crew here.
I didn't know if it was.
But yes, we are aware of those issues and we have reached out to them several times. It may warrant a face-to-face conversation and a walkthrough of, you know, these are the things that aren't being cleaned.
We start documenting it, taking pictures, because you can really tell. We have our, Jim Jarrett's done it himself. He's cleaned some restrooms for us. Even some of the staff get, that, you know, they don't want to bother anybody. They don't like looking at it, so they clean it.
Clean it.
Ed's
Yeah.
well aware of it.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
He is very aware of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stair tread, that's still a problem, or has that been taken care of? Because I thought Ed was talking about that a few weeks ago, wasn't he?
And we just had a conversation about that a couple of days ago.
So we've had stair treads crack, and unfortunately, the Ropey doesn't make in small increments ones that match. And so he had put some newer treads on our back steps that don't match. That looks like, well, that doesn't match.
Yeah.
And so, I know that I put him in touch with Ropey. I have a friend over there that works there, and then they're willing to help us, work with us on potential runs to have it match. I mean, it's a beautiful building. And I hate to start doing things that make it look like the old courthouse.
And I think they went with the closest match from what they had, and then when it actually came in, it was much lighter than
Yeah.
what they thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
So, yes, we are still working on this.
So we put a few down there.
To at least, you know.
So it's-
Nobody's
address
tripping
this.
over anything or, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the safety
So
issue is taken care of.
are you talking to Ropey? Is Ed, how are we gonna,
I talked to
Some
Ropey, and I
point.
think I put him in contact with Ropey, my contact there.
Ed?
Yeah.
And he was getting a quote on what it would cost to install.
Yeah. And then we would just wait till the color was right? Is that how you do it,
Yeah.
what you're saying? To get the right color, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
if we get the go-ahead, we gotta,
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those things that, like, I know it's an ecosystem, and if I had to prioritize things that are most important to me, the things at the youth center getting fixed are more important to me than having matching steps. I'd like to think with some thought and some working together, we can do both, but, so,
Yeah, well, it's good. Just, we don't know if we don't know.
right?
I know, cybersecurity's
Yes.
been a
No, that's
big issue.
definitely the next topic, if you guys are ready to talk about it. So you guys sent me a list. I need you guys to do a little different.
Yes,
Same for out there
Yeah.
for you. I will send you the Excel sheet to add stuff that I additionally need. I need to be able to have who the person is using the computer. I need to have who the username and the device name all match up to the computers.
Got it.
Really comes down to with the auditor of state is going to push to have proper documentation that they can follow if there's ever an incident, all the way down to the final denominator of it, so.
Sure.
So, did you already do all that?
I didn't have a spreadsheet, I created it in a spreadsheet.
Yeah, but I'll be honest with you, I mean, I got 20-some departments to do it, I want it all on one
Sure.
sheet for every department, so we can put it in file.
And I can
Nice.
send you electronically.
And I'll send you the form sheet if you can cut and paste, put it in, because if it's not, if it's put in a PDF and I can't do it, you guys are making me do too much work.
No,
I mean,
I-
I'm doing all of this myself for 20-some departments, including sheriff's department and everybody else. And we needed to have it done a month ago, because right now, today is the last day. Reporting starts today if there's a cyber incident, so.
You know that with the size of our department, that these aren't, like with Judge, I keep saying Judge Shuff and Judge Hall, a lot easier ask of them in terms of less
Sure.
workstations, less moving parts, and my staff, my staff has something to do every day. They don't,
Yeah.
it's not like someone saying, I need something to do today.
Yep.
And so I guess so just feel a little bit of grace would be appreciated.
Yeah, but here's my recommendation on that. Send what I'm asking you to each individual in your department, ask them to look up. Barb sent it, I sent it, the thing to get from the system to know what the username
Yeah, that's what this is.
and put that together
This is
with
the name.
each line item of who the computer and everything is together. I mean, I'm doing it myself. I mean, there's a lot of other things I gotta do too. If each person can send that to you, that would make it 100 times easier, and put it together, because like I have a list from you, but I can't tell you which computer each one of those usernames to system names, I can't tell. I mean, I'd be guessing to put it together to that information, so.
Yeah, I've got the
And-
list of the employees, whether it's the Surface laptop,
Yep.
the system name you asked for, the username that you asked for,
Yep.
a couple of this
And keep
items.
in mind, as this is went, it's become a bigger need per thing, so I didn't know, nobody sitting in this room knew what we needed until really about a month and a half ago. And along the way, we also have the Windows 10 needing to go to Windows 11, and that's all part of the cybersecurity protections. So if you guys also have a server, or a small server, some of the departments do, those are additional items that need to be added on there, because anything that can be gotten into is what we should be putting down.
Yeah, we received a grant a couple of years ago to replace our server, and it's in the server room at the Justice Center.
So
That was the 105,000 we got for that.
Yeah.
So that's good. The machines that have Windows 10 on the last spreadsheet that I sent you, we're replacing those all with money that we have in our non-general fund that's specifically collected for records preservation. So we have money, so all those 10 items will be replaced before that date. And we only had old surfaces that needed replaced. We are also have Henshin as our IT. They handle our network. When the county was doing the countywide fiber, for some reason, they did not get included. I think it was just, we are not on the county network. It was supposed to be on the county network, supposed to be on Bascom Fiber, and we are not.
So
I
there
think
is-
we're on the backup spectrum right now. So we are on a separate network. We have to VPN if we get into VIP. So we're a little different because we have Henshin, but we understand this is important and the policies that need to be put in place for the requirement.
I'm a little confused on that. So the buildings don't have the right fiber to connect?
The
right next
Justice
door?
Center, the main Justice Center does. The annex was not switched over. And that was just, Buckeye hadn't gotten to it yet. So,
Okay. Is that something that we need to make happen at some point in time? Do you guys know anything
I would
about
think
it?
we'd want to have it pretty much the same as this first I heard anything about it, so, yeah, so, okay. I mean, why should we have a couple different
Yeah.
So, okay.
I mean, we're all behind the firewall, we're all behind,
Right.
we're protected,
Yeah.
so.
Well, get RCR involved.
Yeah,
Yep.
and I haven't met them yet. I think they've been up to see both of my chief deputy clerks for a couple issues, but I haven't met them yet.
And you guys are all non-general and you're general, right?
No.
Funds?
They're,
Or combination.
they're
Combination of
combination,
both?
and he is all, no, he is all general.
All general, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
You said Matt General, but you met General.
General.
Whatever.
Talk about that.
IT purposes, we use, to the best of our ability, I know COVID helped us at some point, but we try to use all of our records preservation money that we collect to do all the technology, or grants, if we can
Now-
obtain them.
What have you guys done about disposals? Have you taken care of that yourselves? You guys got a big pile of computers sitting somewhere? What?
Buckeye used to take care of those. They do a recycling program and get certified that the hard drives have been removed and taken care of. I think I have maybe 2 in the office that I think we're gonna take care of ourselves. We just gotta make sure the information is,
RCR also does that.
okay.
They do the
So,
same thing that
well,
Buckeye did.
What our intention is, and I don't know, it's not gonna happen tomorrow, it'll be before the end of the year. We're gonna have collection, and it'll probably be out by the ag buildings. There's a building out there that we'll probably put them there and have a collection day that a company will come and pick them all up. Because we may have 50, 100 computers that end up having to get picked up, and they should do the exact same thing. They should certify that they're destroying the hard drives on them. We have not got that put together yet, because we haven't even got to the point that we can get computers, because we don't know how many we need. Because all of this that we're talking about, I can't figure out how to put together a number to talk to these guys in a commissioners meeting if I can't know how many computers we
One
need.
department at a time, so we have, yeah, you're good.
You ask me a question, I can
Yeah.
tell you where the computer's at. I know where all the computers are at, how they're connected, and I have the list for you, and if you
From a
need
county
something else.
perspective, we got 3 different lists. You know, Buckeye IT's, the auditor list, where the other one comes from,
RCR.
RCR, and they were
RCR did have a list.
unbelievably different. So these are, you know, some
Yeah,
don't
those
exist,
they
and
provided to us.
so from
Oh,
a
that was-
cyber security policy, and then hardware access and all of it. So that's why we just need it all.
I
It's
wouldn't
painful.
recommend computers being kept in the ag building. It'd have to be secure.
There's a building out there that they plan on, we're talking about, they need to be put out there within a very short
And have
time
a place
period.
for them that
It's gonna be locked
will
up.
be locked up.
Unless you guys-
And then they will
There's a
pick them
storage
up
building
within a
out there
time
that we
period.
get records in.
Yeah.
Probably won't have computers, you have
We have
to,
a
it's air
record storage
conditioned.
building.
The
Yeah.
problem is we can't have somebody that's bringing up, box truck to come out 12 times. We need them to come out and pick up as many as we can, once or twice. So,
Yeah,
and then
absolutely.
we'll have to do a certification for
Backyard
each
with
computer.
you, shoot the computer
That was actually said by a department does
Turn
actually.
it in.
Absolutely.
Takes it out and takes a sledgehammer to each hard drive. I remember who said that the other day, Dave.
Okay.
You good with everything
I think so.
on the IT side?
We are having an IT committee meeting next Monday. You're welcome to show up if you want.
I'm actually on the IT committee, and I didn't get an invitation.
It's not on the resolution list.
It was.
Because we went through that the other day, the list of
We just
people that are.
invited her.
Just invited you.
Okay.
I thought she was on, I told her she was on it.
Yes.
I will send it to you again. I was the one that sent it out.
All right.
So
Thank you.
if I
appreciate
didn't
it.
know, I apologize.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
And I am officially off that committee.
You're off that committee.
Commissioner
After
Bustecker
Monday.
will be
After
chairing.
Monday.
I think I'll be there Monday for the baton passing.
What
He's
time?
doing a good job.
What time
He's
is it?
he's doing a good job.
10:45, I think. I'll send it to you, bear
Okay.
with me.
Nope, that's okay.
Too much.
Anything?
No, sir.
You good?
Mm-hmm.
Nice job.
Well, thank you.
Well,
Appreciate
thank you
the time,
for coming in.
spending time with you
Appreciate it.
guys.
Yep.
Always good.
Yeah, this is fluid, right? The process.
If you have any questions after the
Yeah.
fact, because
Yeah.
I did give you a lot of information in there, hopefully it would make it a little easier instead of always looking at
This is great.
spreadsheets. Sometimes it's easier to just kind
We
of
appreciate all your,
list the
like,
changes.
it's
We're trying to make
That
it,
stuff goes unappreciated, unnoticed. People don't know about it. Like, you have a lot of departments that make grants and work hard and do everything.
You do.
Yeah, and you guys, this is great.
we've got a great team. So that report, our annual report, I think reflects that, so.
I have one other thing I saw in his stuff,
Yeah.
that parking lot. Have you guys seen their parking lot?
Which
His-
person?
That's not great.
It's never been great, but we're,
Right.
Yeah.
Add to the list of.
I just
It's
saw
on
it
Ed's
on the
list
list.
of
So you're not
things.
parking lot 3? Which one are you parking?
No, the youth center
parking lot.
Oh.
It's from the original construction.
yes, and it's,
The design was a little goofy, you had that
Yeah.
little,
yeah.
turn.
We,
So what are you saying, what's it? No, I haven't
It's
noticed.
crumbling, right?
Oh, yeah.
I think I remember the last
Yeah,
time I was out there.
Ed is kind of given me a little bit of insight on that, so I'll have that discussion with you guys and get you that information.
Put it at the
Yeah, I
bottom.
mean, my hope is if the
Elevated.
county has another paving job out that way, that maybe we can
Swing in.
roll that in there. And
We have a capital list, so we'll get it, we'll
Yeah.
put it on there.
That was my reason to bring it up.
Yeah, I was not aware of it, but
Yeah.
that makes sense.
I saw it on his list, and I did see it when I went out and saw the building in the early part of the year. It was kind of rough.
It's the original from when they built it,
Yeah.
so we haven't made any improvements
Yeah.
other than stoning some spots, which looks great.
Maybe a patch here or there.
Yes, yeah, not fair. I think we sealed it.
We're right on time.
Yep.
Good.
Thank you,
Judge
guys.
runs a good meeting.
Oh, geez.
Docket- Keeps his docket right on
I
track.
appreciate
Got
it.
to.
Thank
Got
you.
to.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good to
Yes,
see you.
thank you, sir. Good to see you.
Yep.
Thank you. I'll send you an email.
Perfect, thank you.
Good to see you.
Thanks, sir.
Good to see you. Yep. How's the farming out your way? You guys getting the fields yet?
Not quite, probably the end of the week we'll get hammered on it. It's gonna be a little late going with as wet as it was this spring, so take care.
Thank you.
You get like a nice
Oh,
little
no,
window, you
thank you.
can probably push your machine, you can knock
Well,
out
get
a
it out
bunch.
there, right,
Hey,
right, yeah.
I'm not gonna turn down free candy. Maybe.
I've got a big jar. Yes, I do. Thank you.
See ya.
Good to see you again.
Yeah, you too. that?
I said the chair was pulled out for me already.
Right? Sure no trap door under there, right?
Well, that'll be fine.
How's your
I'll
hubby?
take it.
Your hubby doing better? Couple hips?
I guess.
This is being recorded, so
Oh,
Did we start yet?
it's,
Yes, sir.
it's been recording,
Okay.
so.
Is he doing good?
yeah.
Yeah. All
Little
things
by little.
considered. Yeah.
Little by little.
Under rehab, he's recovering. So we'll wait for Commissioner Bustecker. This is just a working session, public, we're recording it. And it's been going good.
Good.
Appreciate you coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So we have an ad here from the county treasurer's office. And this is your first
Yes.
budget?
Yes.
1 month into the job, right?
Yes.
Put this together.
Crazy. To say the least.
We'll give Commissioner Bustecker 1 more minute, and then if he's not here, we can start. That's okay.
That's fine.
Mhm.
I just brought that down so that.
That was great.
I was like, we're missing something.
Yeah, boy.
And I don't have a watch, so I.
Well, welcome. Okay. So we received your budget.
Mm-hmm.
We have it here. You wanna go first, just take us through it? Whatever you think.
Are we looking at revenue
Questions?
and expense?
First going down, we'll start at the top, work our way down, if that's okay with you.
Well, just taking office, I mean, I was just guessing. It was a lot of guesswork. I did have Vicky's help on like some of our expenses, especially the expense section. The revenues, that was just guessing.
You had historical history to
You
work
know.
with a little bit.
I didn't know what to really put. It was guesswork on my part,
On the revenue
which I
side.
think,
Revenues are.
I think revenues,
Pretty
that's,
consistent with what they were in the past, so.
yeah,
Yeah.
so, as far as.
So we're really looking at the expense side,
Mhm.
right?
Outside, yeah, because we don't have any revenues.
Because the revenue's been certified and
Yep,
we have that to work with, right?
yep.
And so now we're,
I see it looks like there's quite a bit of decrease for looks like software licenses and stuff on that, is that?
Yes, because we switched, like, the auditor to ISSG. ISSG and F&E, which has our scanning system, kind of go hand in hand. So, that has drastically lowered what I guess the payout was before. Right now we have 4 licenses, but I would like to get a 5th license because I want a 4th window opened up. We have the window there already,
Mhm.
we just need to get the computer there and
so
the,
somebody can jump in there when needed.
yes. And it's definitely needed during a tax collection for sure. And then in between, I would prefer not having anybody in each other's drawers per se. So when somebody's out of the office, I prefer that we're not grabbing each other's drawers, you know,
You just close that
to
window.
use it, because if that makes any sense at all.
That's your decision to make as the elected official.
Well, that's what I feel is best. I'd like to have 5 windows, to be honest, but I don't know if that could work. We've got the windows there, it'd just be a matter of maybe switching, because we got 3 windows on, well, you walk into our office, we have the 3 windows that you face, and then off to your left, where our door is to come into the office, there's another window section there. And easily, I think we could put another 2 windows there, because I'm telling you, during tax collection, it's nothing to have the three
line
windows that you
layout.
face, somebody's at that fourth window, and then we've had people working out the door. It's not an ideal thing, especially with tax collection.
How do you work the fourth window now, if there's not a computer? System there?
Basically, we would have Roseanne just simply take checks only and put them in a box, and then I would process them. So that person had like double work.
So what's it cost to make that fourth window live?
I think I'm not sure if we would need another computer per se, because if we can try and use what we've got in the office, we will. But we would need the pull-out drawer, and I don't think Vicky's had time to look at how much that's gonna cost. She usually does all of our ordering for the office, but I wouldn't think it's gonna be that much to have the drawer that pops out, cash drawer. Because obviously we would not want a cash drawer sitting on top of the desk. We would want it down under. And honestly, I have a feeling that's something, I think she basically told me that we have enough money in this year's budget that we probably could go ahead and get that set up. So the expense for next year would be that 5th license, and she's telling me between 6,000-7,000. So.
One time?
There's a fee every year. There is a one-time fee, yes.
Yeah.
And then the fee to actually operate, I guess, is an annual thing. This year, on 4 licenses, where did I mark that down? She said that we were charged a one-time fee for 4 licenses of $32.50, and the annual license fee was $46.50 for the 4 licenses. So we were basing it off of that, and then we're not sure if there's gonna be like an increase in the annual fee for next year. We have not heard anything about that yet, so.
So the 6,200 you have in the budget, that's 4,650 plus some other stuff, right?
Yeah, that would, like I said, that would cover the ISSG and F&E. I guess they're combined through this automated business equipment is the official name of the company.
Where you get it.
That looks like we would have spent, so yeah, if we had $46.50, we were thinking between 6,000-7,000 for that line. For next year, we're thinking,
4th one.
yeah, with the 5th license. Okay,
How many employees do you have there right now?
including myself, there's 3 others.
3 others besides you.
I would like to hire. Everybody in the office right now it's had a difficult year. Had to be out for sick leave, if not for themselves, with family members. People needing to take off for vacations. I really don't, I would prefer that we are never without at least 2 people in the office at one time. Preferably 3, if possible. Everybody does a good job trying to work around each other, but when, you know, you got the sick leave that factors in, it's hard to sit there and say, no, you know, you can't take sick time because somebody else already has vacation. So, we've been working with 5 people in the office. I would like to keep that flow going because I think we really need it during our tax collections, definitely, and with, you know, everybody getting their vacation time off, so.
So counting you, your position, you have had 5. So what happened, Paul left, is that what you're saying?
We've had,
That's where the.
Yeah, so yeah,
it'd be the
Paul,
treasurer plus 4.
yeah,
Plus
because
4.
during
So now
tax
it's the treasurer
collection.
plus 3 because you moved out.
Correct.
Okay, so did you factor in that replacing that person in your numbers here?
Does not look
Well,
like it.
being that my wage was
Okay.
taken away, I'm assuming that person would not be making what I was making, so.
Question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so my thought when I looked
Yeah.
at it was that it stayed the same, and that would be the 4 employees that were currently there. And if you hire a 4th employee, she's right, they're gonna make less than what Anita's making, so that should be included in that $106,000
Okay. Yeah, how do you
number.
see
That's
it?
exactly how I
You
see
good?
it.
Okay.
So that's
So-
why I left those numbers like that, because
So at this
No.
point, we're saying, okay, right? We're not saying,
Yeah, I'm not,
Okay.
no, I mean, unless that's something that we
Well,
end up
it's the
having
pay,
to
you
cut
just have-
because
your pay
of
just
trying
has
to
to-
balance the budget,
Yep.
but.
the pay that person makes just has to be within the
Yeah.
aggregate amount here.
Yeah, and I will also, I think the treasurer's salary that's listed, is the current salary, and I think there's an increase in 25,
and
26.
that, I did not know that
And
amount,
that's
so I
fine.
left that as is, assuming that you would make that.
It's not a lot of additional money, it's probably $1,000 maybe in additional money for, and hers is required,
I don't
so.
think electeds even know what they make. I
Well,
don't- I have no
that's
idea.
why I just, you
What
know,
the
I'm
increase
like,
is gonna be, or-
the salary lines, I'm like,
'cause
I don't know what to put, so I'm like, I'm just gonna leave it as
Mhm.
is.
And that's
I
perfect.
assume that you guys would make those adjustments on your end, because,
I think the main thing is
You know.
your salary. We're looking at that. Yours is
Mhm.
set by law, right?
Yep.
And then you had 4 people before, you're gonna have 4 people.
mhm,
The
the new
If
person's
all
gonna be
stays
making
the
less.
same, the new person will make less than you, they're 30-some years.
Mhm.
So, you know, that's where we start there. I think Commissioner Franker's question on software is good, we answered that. But we may, you may take some of that back, because if you add that 4th window,
Mhm.
and that stays
I think
within that
that figured in,
62.
right?
I think that's what it looks like.
Yeah, you had that 4th window figure, that's what the 6,200 is.
I guess
is
the
that right?
5th window's not there, but you go ahead to the 4th windows,
Yeah.
that's
We've
what
got
the difference
three-
is. I think.
3 windows, and then the 4th license was in the back office, because that was supposed to be like where our mail machine's supposed to be. We've had some issues. But anyhow, I wanna get that mail machine back into that office, so
Can you move that license? Is that what you're saying? Maybe, or not?
we need an extra, we
Back
need
there.
1 extra license.
Okay.
We're gonna have to. So, like, I wanna get that started before the end of the year, so some of this might come off of this year's budget. Vicky's telling me we should be fine with what we have left.
You
I'm
work that out.
hoping to get that rolling.
It
here.
appears that you should be fine with what was budgeted and what you've actually expended for the year on that. It looks like there should be plenty of money there.
So since I've been here, the office went to a third party for the mailings, for the
Mhm.
tax bills.
Yeah,
Right.
that's been going on.
3 years, 4 years, maybe,
Yeah, because
something.
Paul's the one that started
He
that.
did that, and that, where does that show up here?
That would be under
In
The
the contract
services,
services,
70,
7,500.
yeah.
But the other part of that that is not included in that is the commissioners pay for the postage, for those to be mailed.
Okay.
And this is real estate and mobile home bills. This would be for first half collection and second half collection. The delinquents, we've always tried to do in-house. I will say we had an awful lot of delinquent notices that were mailed out. A lot. I was floored at how many
This year?
we had.
Okay,
A lot.
so that's what you do with your mail in the back, that mail machine, is that what you're talking about?
When we do their processing, yes,
Yeah.
of the mail.
You have to fold
we
them and
just-
everything? You do all
well,
that?
Actually,
curious.
okay, so the mail machine, what I'm talking about is, it's to process the mail. We just got that, it was used during our second half tax collection. Prior to that, we did not have it because it was not working. in the back office with that computer. I don't know why, so we since we switched software companies, our
Yeah.
new company was like, hey, you need to do this, your mail processing will go so much faster. Okay, we've tried this twice already with our previous vendor, it didn't work. Oh, let's try it. Well, they could not get it to work, so right now the mail machine is sitting on Vicky's desk. It worked with her computer. We're not sure why. We gotta get it figured out.
Okay.
So we need to go back to our vendor, but the idea is 4 windows out front to wait on the general public with a normal scanning system and the big mail machine in the back office, and that's why we would require the 5 licenses. And that would be used for the big mailing process, so as payments are coming in, you know, we get like big trays of mail during tax collection. That can whip it through, oh gosh. I'm not even sure how much a stack of mail, because she was down there processing in between trying to wait on the customers as well.
Right.
So, but the process goes so much faster. So, and that's the whole idea, is to get those checks and that cash in the bank as soon as possible. More interest we get, so that's the whole idea.
I get it.
I will say this, the travel and the expense line, we can go ahead and
Sure.
reduce that for sure. I had no idea what costs were. I had put in there 5,000, just guessing, but we went over everything this morning because I have a rough idea of how much the conventions would be, the treasurers' conventions. I do want us to start going, like 1 or 2 people going to the, for our bookkeeping software.
The
Because-
SSI conference?
Yes, we've never done that in the past, and when I talked to Jim, one of the head guys, there earlier this year, he goes, well, you know, he goes, your office never comes to these events, and I said, well, when is it? He goes, in October, and I said, you know what, I take office in September, we're gonna be there, so Vicki and I are going to that conference this year. It's up in Sandusky, we're not staying up
Not
there,
far.
we're gonna drive back and forth.
Good.
But I feel that education would be extremely beneficial, I'm sure Barb knows, to our office to have. So between that, the fall and the spring convention, now obviously if I go to Columbus, I'm gonna spend the night, I'm not gonna drive back and forth for that. But I feel that I could bump that back down to the 3,000 mark.
So they do a spring and a fall conference for the treasurer, okay.
Yep. And that's something that, you know, Paul never really, if you notice, he never really had much in travel expenses because he didn't go to those things. But I feel it's very important that every elected official goes to their conference. You can learn a lot from the other treasurers. And I really look
restricted.
forward to that. So, you know, we can learn a lot from them, maybe get new ideas. That would definitely be beneficial, I think, to our county. I don't know, do you have any other questions? The advertising, we are required to publicize our tax collection, due dates and so forth. It's called like a reminder notice. So that has to be publicized twice in the newspaper before both tax collections. We're not required to do that for the extra collection, the delinquent collection. I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, I think Julie has to print something in the paper forwarding people of the publication coming in the newspaper, so that would be her. But the treasurer's not required to do anything. This last billing is technically a courtesy billing. We're not really required to do it, but we've always done it as a courtesy to the taxpayers to send out those delinquent notices. It does clean up any interoffice errors, because those are bound to happen with everything that happens, you know, the amount that we collect in the office. And, you know, banks may have, maybe they inadvertently didn't pay somebody's taxes. You know, this kind of lets the homeowner know, hey, you know, get some of those things cleaned up before that publication takes place.
Kind of a friendly pre.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I like to, you know, obviously keep doing that. there's a lot of people out there who just, they don't want to pay their tax bill until they get that final
Final.
delinquent
You see that
notice,
too, where-
you know? So,
So, this is maybe a different topic. So you get DRETAC money in your revenue
Mhm.
line, and that's your money. It's like a
Mhm.
discretionary
Mhm.
account. At times, you can, since you're new, I'm just maybe making a statement.
Mhm.
I don't know where we're going with this, but you have that account.
mhm,
It's a decent amount of money that comes in every year.
mhm.
And so there are some things that come up outside of the general fund that you have the ability to use that money for.
I do know we're already paying one person, at least one person out of
Yeah.
that line.
So I just want to make
Um,
sure we're all on the same page with that.
Mhm.
Sheriff, you have a fund, and everybody, there's funds around
Yeah.
it that, I guess, it's good, you know?
Mhm.
We appreciate the
Mhm.
pressure it takes off the general fund, but I want to just have a conversation with you. So you're paying, I know who you're paying out of that, and then you'll have some discretion there
Mhm.
if you're over a couple bucks on travel, or you're over, whatever.
Yeah.
You can work
that's-
that out with Barb.
Yeah.
And if it needs to come to us, it'll come to us.
Okay.
Okay, is that a fair statement?
Yeah.
Good.
Everybody happy?
Yeah, we have,
Hers is a fairly simple
it
budget.
it
It's
is pretty
not-
simple. I
there's
think,
not a whole lot
I
that
think
goes into it.
being in office a month, this is, you're off to a good start. We do have, you want to talk about what we did already?
I'm trying to work on stuff, I swear to God.
I did most of the work for you.
I know, but I'm.
Oh, don't you smile back there. Your list is 100 times bigger and
Wait till
bigger.
we're out there. We have
Gonna help me
handcuffs,
out.
we have handcuffs, guns, and everything when the sheriff.
I kid you not, you know, I've had people out, I swear, I go to sit down to try and work on this, and I get interrupted. And it's just, and then I gotta go back, okay, where was I? I gave up, trying to look at all of these different spreadsheets, trying to figure out what's correct, what's not correct. We did, actually, were able to get all of these from our computers. We had to get, RCR had to come in because they
So let me see your
basically-
sheet.
They had to break into Paul's machine, basically, to get the information off of that. Now,
These are each of the computers you have.
yes.
Okay. So the easiest thing you do is
But
take.
not the laptop. RCR, he took that with him because we couldn't get into it, but he said he could tell just by looking at it that it is Windows 11.
Okay.
But I don't even know if I'm even gonna keep it or what's gonna happen with it, I don't know. But these are
That one's
all
11.
They're all
computers, but
That one's 11, that's
except
11,
for
that's 11.
Yeah, they're
what
all
was
11.
Paul's, he said that Paul's.
I think that one has to be disposed of.
Yeah,
I think it's
because.
past life.
Where did I have that?
Probably in the sheet that I gave you.
No, I had a sheet like that for his computer. What did I do? Oh, here it is. And it tells us, this PC doesn't currently meet the minimum
Yeah.
system
Yeah.
requirements to run Windows 11. So his will have to go, which will put us down a computer. So we're gonna probably have to replace that computer so I can have my 4 Windows.
So, the sheet that I gave you,
Yes,
take this stuff, compare it.
yes.
Those all should be correct then, that are highlighted in yellow, because you have them already updated to 11.
Mhm.
So I will change that. That is Paul's computer that's in the red.
And let me show you something. This one that says Mary, Addie has her computer.
It just says it in the line item on that asset sheet from the auditor's office. So when I cut and paste, it probably had that on there.
Okay.
It doesn't have any value on it other
Because we've
than,
got Addie down here, so I was trying to do my own
Yeah.
spreadsheet because I got tired of
so
trying to
I'm
decipher all
asking
this
you,
stuff.
if I send you a spreadsheet, fill in the spreadsheet that I have, because
Well, you
I've got.
did, and I tried to, but it's weird things was happening in some spots, so maybe I need to get
Okay.
educated more on Excel spreadsheets.
Yeah, I didn't lock anything, so you should be able to cut and paste. I don't care if it's bigger or smaller, I just want that information. And if you send it to me, even if it goes on to a different page, I'll fix it,
Okay.
okay?
Or, I mean, you can go over and sit with her a little bit too to help, you know, do that, Brent, maybe.
Yeah,
Alright.
that's exactly what this is, this goes right up here,
Yeah.
based off of this information.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm going back to work on this.
Okay,
some
I
more.
appreciate it.
I have been trying, but I will say this, Friday, I mean, we were down people on Friday, unexpected funeral. Vicky had to leave
Life.
early that day, and then Vicky called in sick
Just life.
yesterday,
Just life.
and when we're down people out there at the counter, that's why I need the fourth window open, you know, I'm trying to
You're good there, right?
I'm trying to get everybody uniform in our office, that they know how to, everybody in the office can actually work a window, okay? So that way, when we are down manpower, we should hopefully still have enough bodies in the office that can actually run the office,
Yeah.
you know?
So we're clear, you're good with the fourth window, it's just a matter of getting it.
Yeah, just finish getting
Right.
everything set up, and then if we're taking Paul's computer away, we will have to replace that, but that needs to
It's on
probably be
my
out of
list.
this project, or out of this budget this year versus waiting until next year, because I'd like everything up and running before first tax collection, so when those bills go out, we are ready to roll. So, you'd understand if you were over there, you see,
I do.
also.
Hey,
Barb kind of knows.
at least you have 4 parking spots to go to 4 windows now,
Yeah,
which is,
We're good.
which is good.
this was for me,
Yeah,
Thank
good.
you.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
yeah, thank you.
Tony made it himself.
I'm sorry?
Tony made it himself.
Empty water.
Bless you.
Yeah.
All right, so we're all good, yes, we're good, I'm going back, I'm
I like
working
it.
on that, I'll close my blind and tell everybody, leave me alone. Okay, hold my calls, please.
Does that work?
No. it
Doesn't work,
It
no.
never works
Trust
when
me,
you're-
this whole month has been crazy, so.
Good job, thank you.
Thank you so much,
Welcome.
everybody, we'll see you, have a good day.
We're recording the meeting, just for the record.
Yeah.
And we're in our, this is Tuesday,
No cuss
September
words.
30th.
Well, I'll
And
be,
we're having a work session, budget hearing, and now the sheriff's out, so just for the record. Welcome.
Welcome.
Which guy?
First, go ahead.
Oh, I was like, I know I set one down and that was not
Then
open.
you have water, actually good.
Yep,
thank you.
Barb, you want to take this one? We have copies of everything, so you can,
I don't need to take it out, just, they can
Present what they have.
explain what they did.
we have copies of everything you sent us,
Yep,
and, yeah.
Well, I gave you our numbers, what do you want me to critique? I mean,
All right.
I'm asking for money, you're to ask me what I want the money.
Well, maybe that's how we do it, yeah.
well, we obviously know that the sheriff, he has to have an increase due to the cab, and so we know his increase. I think the biggest things are gonna be, you know, the increases for salaries, and let's do
And
enforcement first and then talk about jail.
Agreed.
So we can do them separately. Yeah, road first and then, jail.
and then also, I think, if you guys don't know, it's on the radar, we do have union contracts next year as
Yes,
well.
yeah.
So-
Yes.
26?
26.
Yeah, it's already,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's already.
it's like, didn't we just do
They
this?
did. They were dragged out, yeah.
Is that July 26th?
It
Well-
ends in December,
It ends in December.
but we try to start early as possible, but it was like.
But that's right, when we,
Yeah, they
when we
didn't start,
negotiated,
and they,
we were
that,
6 months into it.
I'm gonna
We
ask
didn't
this
spend it 3
year,
years, but we spent a year and a half of.
yeah, I'm gonna ask this year that they don't wait till October to talk, because then they look at each other's calendars, and then it's November, and then
And
it
then
drags
you
into next
you have all
year.
kinds of,
And then it doesn't get settled till April or May, and then they got a retroactive,
Yeah,
which makes it
yep.
a nightmare for finances,
So
so.
just for the record, the current contract expires on what date?
12/31
next
of
year.
26.
So we should start talking in August
Yeah,
or
right.
something like that, yeah. So that it's settled by the end of the year.
Okay.
Okay, sorry about that.
So we had a discussion many times about headcount, the road crew. So I, on this, I ended up 23 as a headcount, I don't know what you have.
Let's see.
You got the personnel.
Is that what this one is? I stopped it.
Okay, I flipped them. Bonham's out in Hammond is in.
Yep.
So-
We moved her there.
Yep, and we just need to add Conrad because this was done in July, so.
When we submitted it. So,
Right after Bonham left, we submitted it.
and you're talking from 23, not counting me, and
Well, we have Chuck
in the cap.
We have Chuck and
Let me
Brian
do recap.
right
Well,
here.
he does.
Oh,
Did she-
there's another, it has the numbers on it, there's another set of numbers.
Right. Yeah, I see that one. There's some
This one here, it has actual numbers.
24,
He's got
25.
If he
23
has-
steps.
if he
Yes,
allows
that-
it.
that's the
So the
step
numbers come out
increases,
right,
yes.
and then there's two, you have 23 and you want 25.
Correct.
That's what you're,
Well,
yes or no?
um,
I'm trying to
we just,
understand.
we just brought out Schlatter from the jail to the road.
He was in transports.
Yeah.
Because he's replacing Bonham that resigned.
So you didn't net a new one, you just replaced one?
It's a replacement.
Kind of not really, because we were still, Hammond's is now the
SRO
SRO replacement because
replacement.
McCoy left. And then when Brady Bonham left, Schlatter came out, so we still are at our 22.
Two?
The 22.
Correct.
The
Deputies
budget,
on the road.
the budget has 25, that's my question.
Yes, because over the last few years, we have discussed getting 2 more deputies on the road, and we've not been able to do that.
Okay, so for purposes of what we're staring at, we have 25 on the road in the budget at the current.
That's
That
what
was
we're
what was
asking
submitted,
for, yes.
correct.
That's what we're asking for, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, please, thank you.
Okay. Keep going, we're on the road side. Otherwise, we also call this, what's the other, we call it?
Enforcement?
Enforcement, thank you, yeah.
Per
Did you catch
contract,
that,
this was
Brad?
at a 3% increase
Yeah,
per contract. I know
yeah.
outside of that, we're not asking for any more people or any other. We do have a few retirements that are coming up.
Yes, we have Kevin, who's a sergeant.
For enforcement side, we just have Reinbold, I
Yep.
believe that's it.
That's it on the reinforcement side that we've
Correct.
been notified of. I send out in July, usually June or July, I ask in an email, anybody that's looking at any insurance changes, family to single, single to family, any type of thing so that I can notify Barb or anything, because that is sometimes
Yeah.
a large difference. And then anybody that's thinking about retirement, to let us know as well, because that can be a large payout as well. So Sergeant Reinbold is the only one on the road side
For that person,
that has notified me that he's leaving in
at
March.
the time that we knew.
So there'll be 3 months of his salary at 32 years pay, and then his buyout.
Okay,
And his vacation and sick will not come out of your funds, they will come out
Correct.
of,
Yes.
uh,
I did not know how, I didn't know if you were going to continue that next year. So
Yes,
I
we
just
are.
put all the numbers
Yes,
in
we
the
are.
way it is, so.
yeah,
you
so,
can-
so there'll probably be an adjustment in your salary line for retirements and things like that.
Good.
So just so you're aware that, we do, the commissioners do the vacation and the sick payout, the personal and any comp time comes directly out of your budget.
So
Okay,
really, it's only almost 25
okay.
Yeah, it's not a,
Gotcha.
hours that will come out of our budget.
All
The
right.
rest of it will be.
yeah, it's not gonna be a lot of money out of your budget
Okay.
at that point, so.
That's different than the city, because we used to have to account for it.
Yeah, and we used to do that before too,
Right.
but it becomes an issue when you have someone that has a large payout like
Yes,
this one,
yes.
24 grand.
Yes.
And it has to come from general fund.
Mhm.
And this way, we've established a fund separately to,
I like that way a lot better.
know,
because I mean, look-
we can allocate for that money.
Yeah.
And then,
And it inflates the budget unnecessarily.
correct,
Yeah.
Yeah.
correct.
From year to year.
So, but that's based off of that. So,
Okay. That's the only one that's notified me, and there really isn't anybody that's close to retirement, not other than a resignation like we had with Bonham or McCoy.
And
or
the other,
something.
yeah, that same play out there. Vacation sick
Yeah.
comes through that
Yep.
other fund, and Lex notifies me, and hopefully I remember to do the payout, or
Right.
sometimes it gets missed.
It's a new thing, it's not something.
Yes,
that you're
exactly.
doing all the time.
As soon as we get into a routine, it'll be much better. So that's my biggest thing. So there will probably be somewhat of a reduction there. It's not gonna be a whole lot. My biggest question was, we went from almost 2.2 million initial budget in '25 to almost 2.7 million on the salaries. And I know that the 3% without overtime or any extras is only $237,000 according to what was given to me from Clemens Nelson when the contract was approved. $237,000. So I was just trying to figure out the other $230,000 there.
For this year?
I
For
didn't,
26 budget.
26, right here,
that
tell me.
sheet right there. Okay, I did not pull mine. I did
Yeah.
pull from
Four,
last
yeah,
year's.
467 looks like the increase.
Now,
Yeah.
in that, this is another thing, all of the holiday pay, which last year we had a lot, the holiday banks, which we ended up having to pay out, if you recall. All of the additional pay comes out of that salary line. We don't have a separate overtime line, holiday pay or that such. So, you'd have to look, I would have to pull my sheets from last year to see how much was that holiday pay that we ended up having to pay out at the end of last year. And, just where we're at overtime wise compared to last year to this year. Okay.
I know that this year, because last year, at the end of the year, we had to come out and ask for a true-up on overtime, both in the jail and in the road. But this year, we're doing really, really good on the projections that, on the road, we're about 18,000 over for road overtime, going to that 12-hour shift stuff. On the jail, believe it or not, we're at $503 in overtime over. So
533.00.
$503.
Yeah.
Legit, like that's what
Legit.
we're projecting. If
And
we stay
usually,
where we're at,
this
but that's
time,
not-
I'm like
there's
100,000
holidays.
Exactly,
or
that's where
100.
I'm like, okay, I'm
Yes.
just trying to make sure I understood that.
Yes.
That was not a,
No, it's not a
after-
mistake. I had to ask her that. I'm
We're
like, are you
refining
sure?
the numbers, we're
Yeah.
getting them closer, as
Okay.
close as we
no,
possibly can.
and that's just it, we're
But-
just trying, it's hard, I know.
It is. We've done some different things in the jail with, patterns of sick time, and there's a large amount of people back there, and it's a stressful job, I get it, but we're trying to crack down supervisor-wise and making sure that there's wellness and everything like that, but over the 4 years I was there, I've not been happy with the amount of overtime that's been back in the jail. And so we've been looking at that, and I noticed that a lot of the senior people that are back there are getting ready to retire. And unfortunately, that can be some of the issue. They've been there quite a long time. So, again, some of the changes that we've made have, I think, resulted in the reduction of the overtime that we've had back there. And over the course of the 5 years, we've gotten the numbers up back there, so it's not been a burden on some of the people. So I think that it's reflecting in the overtime projections that we're having. These are fluid every payroll because of holidays and of course anything else that people resign. We just had one female resign. So now we're really struggling because we have another female in the pipeline that doesn't start till the 14th over the weekend. That female, when she resigned on Friday, affects that weekend schedule. So now that affects a ripple effect. So we will have some overtime over the next 2 weeks because of that, because a female can only work in the
Right.
female sections and stuff like that. So there'll be forced overtime, female overtime and stuff like that for the handful of females that we have until we get those female numbers up. And I'll be contacting Andrea to post for female COs and stuff like that.
I
But
don't remember on that sheet, did I put the
But
26
it's,
payroll number?
yeah, it's that juggling thing,
Well,
to
because that could be,
keep
doesn't match
females,
up to anything that I have. The number that's
employed
up
back there.
Didn't match up to
Which one do
anything.
you have?
I have
2669.
See, it matches this number
Because it
on
goes through
here,
Here,
but it didn't.
yes, and that should be pulling from the total
Okay.
of these sheets. So that would be enforcement, that would
Okay.
be dispatch, that would be clerks. And then medical and court is on its own, kitchen,
Maintenance.
medical, maintenance, and,
Transports.
transports would all be on the correction, so you have to add the total of the pages
Okay,
where they go.
okay, I'll have to.
So it's not just deputies, you're also including all of the clerks in that, and all of your dispatchers, all of their wages are also
On this sheet
combined
here.
on that,
Yes.
correct?
Right, okay.
Yes, that's why these are all spelled out separately, so you can see, okay, well, roughly where it's all falling.
So you said deputies, clerks,
Dispatch.
Dispatch, yes.
Yes.
Who's, how many categories are there with the union? You
I have
three?
five.
Five.
There's five, so dispatch, okay, yeah. Steve falls under the kitchen.
Yes,
Yeah, so-
kitchen and maintenance.
Kitchen and maintenance, right, okay.
They bargain together, yes.
And the nurses fall under?
Corrections.
Corrections.
Nurses and
You
corrections.
trying to get that spun out separate or no?
They've tried a few times. I think they're gonna try again this next time.
It's up to them.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
But jail enforcement each have their own rank then as well.
Yes.
Then you have Frank.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as like the holiday bank, how is that working for you guys? I mean,
It's
is it-
gone.
Okay.
Yes.
It is completely gone.
Finally.
At
That's
this
what
time-
dragged out the most.
That's what
Okay.
hit us real bad last year, and we got that finally, I think it was just President's Day was our last one.
Yes.
And now anybody that has a bank this year either has to use the time off or they completely lose it. There
Yes.
will not be a payout for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
it's
that's,
all
that,
of
Yeah, I
that's what-
negotiated that
That
out.
was what my biggest concern was, because that's always
it's for,
up in the
yeah.
air, because it was like a December 1, you either used it or you got paid out.
Yep.
And I was like,
It's a use it or you lose it.
okay,
Yep.
Yep.
that helped a lot there. So because that's always a wild card it comes December.
Yes.
Believe me, I pushed very hard for that one.
Yeah, we got it taken care of.
Okay. I guess then we'll just kind of go down the list here.
All right.
As far as supplies, it looks like there has been a little bit of an increase here.
Yes, our biggest increase would be for the tasers, cartridges, those items. Price has gone up considerably on them. I don't have an exact number of how many we have versus how many we need.
We have an older generation of tasers, and we're trying to get some grants for the new tasers that replace on the roadside. Barring that, and they're pretty tattered, and they're expensive. But I was able to get with the Erie County, he got a brand new set and put them out there, and I was able to get his old ones, which are better than our old ones, and we rotated our old ones to the jail, which were really crappy. So we kind of did hand-me-downs, like you do back in the day with if you have a lot of kids in your family. And so we're making do with what we can until we can either see if we get that grant or at least pass it on to next year's budget or something like that. So, but the cartridges, so to stave off any lawsuits, you gotta have training in it once a year. And I've made the training people aware that, okay, per person, we can't do, 4 cartridges each, try to do the minimum of 1 cartridge per person. And, but when you have to do the jail side requalification and the roadside requalification, you're talking 50, 75 cartridges at whatever they cost a piece and stuff. So that's there's a cost involved in that. And if you don't do it, and then somebody sues you, they're gonna look at your training certificates. So it's one of those costs of doing business, the necessary evil things.
I know the biggest thing that comes out of that supply line is your fuel. Is
Yes.
that pretty
Been
consistent?
doing really good.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, being in the larger tank, I think the larger tank that the city of Tiffin did, and I don't think they charged us
Okay.
to do that larger tank thing. And we still get a good price on that.
Okay.
And I've been checking in with them regularly with Brandon and making sure that we're not hurting or doing anything to lose that benefit of doing that, and so far so good.
Is
with
there, so I'm assuming their price is competitive to
Yes.
what's, or cheaper than what's actually on the market to everyone else?
Has been up to this point. It depends on if we do the drill baby drill thing and it starts to become really, out there. But I can't see, I'll look at it again if you need me to, but in buying it in bulk versus buying it at the gas station at various places in Attica or
You're gonna hit the
Republic or
hills in the
whatever.
valley, because sometimes you're gonna put
Yes.
in, right, just
Yeah.
like filling up cracker.
Over
Correct.
time, though, it should be.
Yeah.
But over
Well,
time, it
ease
should
of
be
it,
more
yeah.
consistent of
Yes.
a number rather than, okay, I think it's gonna be this and
Yes.
it's 20,000 more, or.
Correct.
Okay.
It's
Yes,
fuel.
they've been fairly consistent.
Yeah.
I
Good.
will say, the next line, I believe, is equipment.
Yes.
And I know that there's been a, is that the same? So this looks like there's some computers, some MDT computers,
Those are the mobile ones that go in the vehicles.
okay.
Yeah, our old ones are
Quite a
way
few
past
of
their
them
life
are
cycle.
way, yes.
So when I came into office, the ones that they had were already past their life cycle, but we were able to, well, I actually saw on the, I think it's called the state website, DMR or whatever that is down at the Columbus, that the park rangers were getting rid of their MDTs, and they were the exact same ones that we had, the Panasonics screens and stuff. And so we went down there, Chuck and I went down there and grabbed a whole bunch of them. So we've been using them to replace our ones that were dying out and stuff. So I think they were maybe a year better than ours or whatever. But they're the same age cycle as that. So we need to start replacing them because they're not the Windows 11 compatible stuff, and we're at the end of way past the end of the life cycle of some of those.
So the 26 quantity that was listed, is that that's all of them in every vehicle?
I believe so, yes.
Yes, should be, yes.
Yeah.
And then computers, we were already looking at that kinda. I didn't know if I needed to add that to our budget.
Again,
or
the
if that was
equipment,
something-
any equipment, I'm gonna take out of your budget because the commissioner, you put it here, that's fine. But we will take it out
Okay.
because the commissioners will front for vehicles and computers. I think the request has to be made for the computers and the vehicles, so that's just kind of, but I will take it, we are aware that
Okay.
it's a request, but it will come out of your budget.
Gotcha.
So that lowers that.
That's what we figured. I said if I put it there, they at least know what we're gonna ask for.
Exactly,
and they know-
that helps us, to, alleviate any questions in the future.
So go back to what were you talking about with the park rangers? There's 26
In our cruisers.
cruisers.
Yeah.
Okay. And do they need replaced? All of them need replaced, or is it a 2-year?
The old ones that we had when I first came into office and stuff. When we do new cruisers now.
I've seen a list of vehicles. So like in EMS, we have monitors, we have all that stuff, and we never really looked at it. Well, they come due too, right? So you kind of focus on maybe vehicles and not tasers and computers in your cars. So I'm just curious, what do one of those things cost to replace one?
$4,000 to $5,000.
4 to 5, okay,
That has the
yeah.
hardware card in it, the Verizon card in it, GPS card, everything is included in that.
Yeah,
And it's
would be-
rugged.
that's-
It's not like your regular laptop,
Yeah.
because then it would just fall apart within a month of all the
That's not
potholes
on
and
your
everything.
list, that's what we're talking about now, computers.
Yes. Yeah, well, and I know you have a meeting with Jared and Chuck, because I won't be, the IT meeting.
Yeah.
That probably won't necessarily talk directly about your stuff.
Okay,
But we will have to have a
That is-
conversation with Jared
yes.
and sit down and go over
Okay.
all the other
We
desktop
can talk
computers.
about that then.
So
Okay.
are
keep
we,
moving forward.
I get the computers, your office computer, and I get the vehicles. When it comes to everything in the vehicle, is that on him or is that on us? I think that's where we were, and that's kind of what I was trying to clarify.
So, when we
You know,
buy a
the
new
computer
vehicle, when we
and
buy a
the
new vehicle,
car.
it becomes part of that new vehicle purchase.
Yeah, because we paid
And-
like 20 grand extra to get the vehicle.
Correct, that
To get
equips the
They
vehicle.
equip everything, yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
So
so,
you wanna know,
are we, go ahead, I want to ask one more question. You got it teed up for me. So if we buy a new vehicle, we automatically
Yes.
get all new.
Yes.
But if we have an old vehicle and we have to we have to refit it.
you're just putting a new computer in, you're
Yes.
basically replacing
Computer
the
in,
laptop
that's
that's
$5
there
grand,
for a
yes.
new one.
Okay, so back to you.
You wanna know if it should be his budget or
Yeah, I'm just
commissioner's
asking because it's the
budget.
first time we ever talked about it.
It's equipment.
It's equipment,
Yeah.
so it should be
This
out of our other funding,
Okay,
that capital funding that we do.
how about tasers? How about body cams? How about, what's the definition of equipment?
That is on the person, not on the vehicle.
Right.
That is a part of their, we feel it should be
Good
part.
answer. I'm
We
asking.
feel that that should be part of the uniform.
Yes, I agree with
However,
that.
it is
that
not specifically dictated in the contract that's part of the uniform, so I cannot take and put the money in my uniform allowance to cover such. I have to put that into supply.
That's the way the auditor looks at it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
So, but it is part of
Hey, I'm just
their
asking.
standard
Yeah.
uniform.
Okay, so the equipment, for purposes of sheriff's budget, really, but because of the vehicles, obviously vehicles are vehicles, computers, and then the computer.
The actual
in
computer, the computer is in the vehicle.
Is equipment, and I hear,
Yeah. I
They're
feel
mounted,
like
they're
that,
mounted
in
I
the
feel like
vehicle.
that
There.
is something that is, that
I
that
think it's
commissioners should be
clarification,
the ones
yeah,
to.
we're good, and then we'll take that out, and then we have to put that on, we'll talk about that then separately,
Mhm.
out of our capital.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, fair. Thank you. A little slow, but I want to get everything clarified.
It looks like there's a request for 2 vehicles.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And Chuck gave you the list.
I
of
do
the
have
two
a,
that
I do
are
have a list.
rotated out,
Mhm.
yes.
Yep.
The worst of the worst of the worst.
What did we get this year? Did we get 2?
Yes, we did, early in the year, and we
Yeah.
just got the last one on the road this month,
Yeah.
of the 2 that we bought in January.
Really?
Yeah, so I went back.
Yes, that's
so-
ridiculous. And that wasn't because of Ford. We got the vehicles in January from Ford. That was PAR getting the parts, because we're still having supply part issues.
But they were 23 vehicles, I think. 20
No, they were 24.
No, they were 2024s
Because
that
we
they
got-
had left over, and we got them immediately. It was just ordering and then when the parts came in, they had other ones lined up before them, so we had to wait. So hopefully, next year, we don't have to wait till September to get vehicles on the road. Because then the old ones keep having maintenance issues that cost maintenance budget, so.
Or we had.
And are you, so we get 2 in, you get rid of 2 then?
Yes, well, we are now. We finally are at the stage 5 years in that we can start rotating
Okay.
2 out. Chuck gave
Okay.
you the list of the 2 of the worst that can go to auction or gov.gov or
Gov
gov deals
deals.
or something like that we can get rid of.
We're not gonna get much money out of them,
No.
but.
Because they
but
are-
I mean,
they are horrible.
I think insurance costs as much as what
Yeah,
they're worth.
yes,
Right, I mean,
yeah,
that's-
they are
At the end of the day,
horrible.
yeah, that's more than.
They don't have a use anywhere else.
What's the lead time on these babies? What-
Right now, the vehicles themselves, they're back to the way that it was.
Okay.
You put the specs in and order them, maybe a month or 2 if they don't have on the lot.
Yeah.
But it's the supply
It's
part.
the the other. the
Yeah, ordering all the
interior
stuff from
portion
PAR
of the-
Enforcement
might be
Yeah.
5 to 6 months.
Yeah.
And then another 1 or 2 months to put them, install, yeah. So, hopefully that doesn't go that long next year.
Yeah.
So as soon as you give us the
We're gonna
okay,
wanna talk about the 2 vehicles earlier in the year.
that's what I'm saying, as soon as you give us the okay and we can order them, then we can tell PAR, this is the make and model of the cars that we've ordered, and they can order the parts earlier.
Okay.
That's the holdup, yeah, every year of getting the okay. Because I'm not gonna jump the gun and say, okay, go ahead and, 2 SUVs, Ford Explorers, and then you say no, and then now we're,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, it was just weird with COVID.
Mhm.
Things
It was.
went whack.
It's slowed
Discovered
everything.
about that.
Yeah.
software, I'm a little about because I still don't have updated quotes from ProPhoenix. I did get the Adobe licensing down that we are for our, there's 6 on enforcement, 2 on roadside that we've got on a yearly rotation for our own tenant. However, Buckeye would always bill me for the licensing, email licensing, you know, that, and then the Adobe. I haven't seen anything from RCR, so I just put something based on what I had. I don't know
As
how
far
that's
as
going to be billed.
RCR, the Microsoft licensing was paid up through September, I believe. We took care of making Buckeye whole with what was remaining back in like May or something.
Okay.
As far as going forward, I have not heard anything from RCR on any of that billing.
Okay, so I just left a number in there based on what I was dealing with Buckeye.
That's
for both sides.
And that's fine. We will have to kind of maybe venture back to that, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I had anything else that really stuck out. How many copiers and printers do you guys have out there that are on contract?
We got it narrowed down to 4.
No. We have technically 2 contracts, one for copiers, like the big
Yeah.
ones, which we have 4 of those.
Yeah.
But then the rest we have our printers, which are in different offices or different locations. So we technically have 2 contracts.
Okay, because I noticed it was on road and jail, and I wasn't sure how that.
Correct, so I
was
get 2
split out.
bills a month. I
Okay.
get one for copiers and one for printers, and they have the numbers on them, and I know which are allocated to which
To
office.
which office, okay.
And then I bill, pay accordingly.
I just had a
And that's
thought.
another one, I don't know, we're good on that contract, if they're
Yeah,
gonna
I forgot what it was. I
increase.
know when we first came into office, there was probably 6 or 7
Yeah.
copiers all over.
Right, I
and
remember
Mom
that.
and some other company, and then we went with Mom and got it consolidated down to 4 at strategic places throughout the office that we walk around. I get my steps in. And, but I don't know when that's up again.
I wanna say it's 26, so we should be
So
looking at.
next year?
So, I'll see about Chuck having to look at that.
So,
Yes.
on the cars, if it takes 6 to 8 months to fit a car, if you want to order a computer, just the computer part, replace it, how long does that take? That's something you do yourself?
The cars are quicker now.
Yeah, the cars are quicker.
Oh, no, I mean-
No, he's talking the computer
Yeah,
itself.
the computer
Save the money.
isn't the problem, it's, the problem that slowed the last 2 cars down was the cage and the, what was the other part?
We get the car in 2 months, then you're saying it's 6 to 8 months so I can put it on the road. So the cage is what's holding
There
it up,
was
not
2,
the-
there was the cage and one other
Okay.
part. Well, to be fair to PAR, well, not to be fair to them because it was their fault, but the last car that took longer, in June when we had that big huge rainstorm, they had parked both of our cruisers outside and somebody had left the window open. And so it got wet on the floor and they had to replace the floor. And Ford had to send them the new floorboard and that took 2 months. So that the second car, they did it all warranty free for us, but Ford took long to get them that second Ford part in. But it also was the cage as well for that
That
one
makes
as
sense.
well.
So if you want to upgrade the computers in an existing vehicle,
That should not take
That should
a
take-
month maybe to get all
That's
of
what I
them.
meant.
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
those come from an RCR? You have to
Yeah.
get those specifically for a law enforcement?
because everything.
No, they're not law enforcement, like, they
Yeah.
could, I don't know if RCR could
You
get
would
them
think.
straight from Panasonic or get a better deal than PAR or
I
not.
mean, I don't know that we have talked to them about those specific computers.
I can
Actually,
find out, yeah, I can find out that if it's a,
I mean,
you
it's something
know,
that,
whether that they're a licensed dealer through them or,
would be something, I mean, they're gonna be here Monday as part
Okay.
of the meeting, so we'll talk to them about it.
Any other questions on the roadside? Did anybody have any other questions, concerns?
Just, I think it was May 8th, you sent out kind of a, and I think we kind of fumbled through about maybe meeting and stuff to try to maybe efficientize the county with like, you know, the police and for dispatching and all that stuff, you know, to kind of, as we look at budgets and stuff with that, I don't know if you sent that email out to us, remember, he's the one that set a meeting up with us.
The dispatch center, you mean?
We want to be, yeah, probably the dispatching and, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's
And I think
two-
it kind of,
there's,
Demanding?
I think it's just kind of roundtable more than anything on it.
yeah, there was two onto that, if you don't mind, I'll just.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll add my 2 cents. When we brought the two cities and the county together, when we hired Jared for that position, the commissioners and the 2 mayors are requesting update from law enforcement, so that would be you and the 2 chiefs. You know, this is what we're doing together. That might have been when that came out. Or I might have wrote that, I don't know. But we wanted to see,
Oh, yeah.
that come from you?
Me?
Yeah.
This did not
I
go.
think I did that, yeah.
Oh, you did,
Yeah,
oh,
that's it.
I thought
But
Sheriff.
I think it might have been a conversation that we
Yeah.
were looking to
Yeah.
have.
So
okay, yeah.
what we were trying to do,
Sorry about that.
for purposes, but it's a good point. So for moving forward as, what, it would be an education for the electeds,
Mhm.
2 mayors and the commissioners. Okay, what are you working together, profanings, then we get into dispatch, then we get into, you know, you're on the road, how you do things. 911, that might include SPAR and you guys. And so we can get some sort of collective together idea of where this is headed, and then ultimately it'll probably go into dispatch at some point. But
To be fair, or to be honest, I
I know
think
you guys talk, right?
we
And
have,
you do
but I
talk.
think it just always dies out because no one wants to be the bad guy, no one wants to pull the trigger, no one wants to
Well,
make the decision.
it's part of the fact that you have dispatchers, City
Yep.
of Tiffin and Fostoria have
Yep.
dispatchers, and they all have longevity, or they all
Yep.
have
Unions.
seniority,
Yep.
and different unions, and
It's the logistics of
it's,
it.
who's gonna take it over,
Yep.
and then how do you rank those people when they come in? Because if you've got somebody at the city that's been there
Yep.
for 15 years, and you have somebody at the sheriff's office that's been there 12 years, who takes rank?
It's the
And
logistics of it. And we brought people in that talked about it, and there was, all of them have been horror stories of the other agencies have been let go, because the cities have said, we no longer are having a dispatch center, so they've basically dissolved their contracts. And even though they agreed that with the labor committee or council or whatever it is, they said, well, we're not providing those services anymore. And then they all made them reapply at the county, and they hired some, but not the others and stuff like that. And it was just a nightmare. And I know Wood County said of the 18 or 20 that reapplied and got hired within 5 years, all of them were gone but one, you know, because they found other jobs. They needed a job, and then they were gone. So I don't know what the proper way to do it is, and I don't know where the discussion goes from here on getting everybody together would be one, but then who pulls the trigger, who makes the decision. I remember you saying that, and it makes sense in the conference room when we were talking about it with the other 2 chiefs about just negotiating, you know, when it comes down to the longevity and seniority or whatever, getting the 3 unions together and saying what makes sense, you know, and if it can't be figured out, then either walk away or it is what it is, you know, but at least we tried, you know. The end of the day, it becomes what's the best for the cities and the county if it ends up saving money and it ends up being the best decision for public safety, then sort of like the EMS thing. It might hurt and ruffle some feathers, but in the end, it might be the best decision to either not do it or to do it once you start getting into the finance part of it and the personnel part, Because in the end, I've said this from the beginning, you know, you have three things, you know, what's best for the community, best for the office, and then best for the people. And that's not to mean that the people always come last, it's just that it's public service for a reason, you know, so.
Because I thought the meeting, yeah, Barbara and I was at, I thought there was a good meeting, it wasn't anybody, Chief Pauly or thought they were.
Yeah, nobody was.
No.
So I think,
No.
yeah, that's, maybe
Yeah.
we need to reconvene and have another meeting
Yep.
on that again or something.
And I think that there's consensus amongst the chiefs that this is the direction. It's just how do we get there logistically,
Right.
fairly, that there's gonna be hurt feelings because, you know, there's some dispatchers at both places that have been there a couple decades, and now they're not gonna retire from where they started. And they're gonna have to start over at another place, even if you grant them,
Right.
okay,
Right.
you're now gonna be a county employee with 20 years.
Right,
you know.
exactly.
Or even if you do what they did with Clements, you know, where they made him a county employee, and then they had a clause in there that if he would leave within 2 or 3 years, the city was responsible for his buyout and everything like that. Even if you did something like that to try to not assume all the debt
Right.
of those employees, they're still not a city employee anymore where they started their career or anything and wanted to retire from there.
Right.
Because I think one of the city people brought up, you know, I'm not gonna be considered a retiree from the city, you know, and go to the retiree luncheons and dinners and stuff like that. So, I mean, I get it, you know. It does matter to some people. They, you know, put 25 years at a place and then are told, you wanna do 30, well, now your next 5 is at the county where you never intended to work. So, you know, I can see both sides of the argument, but I don't know what the solution is at this point. Other than that, I know that you guys said that the other part of it being a board thing is not in the works. So I'll do what you tell me to do.
Yeah, I
so.
just think, to finish my thought, all that was about the dispatch.
Yes.
Okay. With everyone agreeing to hire Jared
Mhm.
and put him out there and all three, I think there are a lot of other services that are being provided where everyone's working together or you're on the same systems over time.
Yes.
The chiefs have been talking with you, and so that also, I think, needs to be understood by the cities and the county, what law enforcement's doing together. And I also think that gives us some momentum to go into the dispatch discussion, because if you're doing all these things together, from the jail to I am responding or whatever,
Yeah.
to Pro Phoenix.
Our drones, our
to
SWAT,
drones are together.
negotiation
So,
teams.
I mean, dispatch just is an evolution of that. So it's not, there might be more momentum and more sense to do it that way.
Agreed.
You know, so that's kind of where I was coming with it.
Well, and I think.
We all talked about that, the two mayors, when we had our first meeting,
Right.
and you were there, about combining IT services, but really carving out law enforcement. You guys made a good case, and we supported it.
Well, and I think too, the
No.
whole dispatch coming together, I think at some point there was made mention that it was all gonna have to be put together. And it was.
Potential with
it-
retirees and other things.
That
along the way.
and legislation
Yeah.
that was pending, but
Yeah.
then got shelved, and then now it's not even pending anymore.
Right.
It was tabled, and then no one's brought up the mantle anymore, so.
So, yeah, it's.
But it could be brought up
It could be
again.
brought up
I
again,
think
and
you're right. I
then,
think we need to at least have the discussion, play the what if, go down a little.
Because
bit.
right now, currently, each of our agencies all have the same software. We're all we're all multi-juris, using the same software. We're all using the same vendor out of Mansfield, Vasu. We all have the same, basically, same setup, plug and play, and it's real easy, you know. We even said that in our meetings. If we needed to, if we made the decision this month and said by the end of the year, it's all gonna be out at the sheriff's office, we could unplug, and with very minimal amount of construction, plug everything in and be up and running, you know, because we're all in the same software. We're all doing, with a little bit of training or anything like that. you know, whereas Wood County said each person had their own systems, and they had to retrain them and stuff like that, so we're way far ahead of the game
That's what I'm
when it
thinking.
comes
So
to,
many things in common.
if you wait farther down the road to do this, and say they get a new chief and a different mayor, and
Right,
everybody's
and-
different,
and
they go to
everybody-
different
they-
software.
They
and-
decide they're gonna do
Yeah,
something else
yeah.
and.
The
It
table's
gets
set
harder.
politically as far
Yes.
as leadership,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Chiefs and
Yeah.
mayors and commissioners. they
Absolutely
have
it
a
is.
discussion. And it might take a minute. Okay,
Yeah.
moving on. It's 3:12. We have, we're good.
We're not even in the jail yet.
Well, the jail is a little,
We'll jump
is a little
on
bit
it.
more of a beast, but it's not really.
No,
We'll
it's
jump right in.
Again, looking at, you said that the jail right now projected shortage was $500.
Projected as of last
I-
For
payroll.
overtime.
No,
But we,
for
year.
salaries for the year, projected to be,
Yes.
but with that, we just pulled one from transports, moved him to the
Yeah.
road. And lost a full-time CO on the floor.
I missed that.
And we have since lost 3 intermittents, which we
Yeah.
fill in overtime.
Oh,
wise.
And that was something I started, I got a little resistance from them, but I showed them in their contract that they used to have that before, so slow your roll, because I said, I'm not trying to replace you,
and I,
but it helps me with
and I think
moving them to
that's an
full-time.
excellent idea,
Yeah.
because when you have intermittents, they can cover that overtime, cover what would be considered overtime for somebody else, but it's not overtime for them.
And it always goes to them first. That was the thing that they thought I was taking overtime away from. I said, no, you get it offered first. And then it goes, it's right there in the contract. I cannot, you just let them take it from you. If you don't want it because you're getting burned out, then I go to the intermittents. Plus, they're now trained, and if they can want full-time position when it comes, oh, okay, so I had to explain it to them. The other issue that we're running into is we got a lot of retirements coming out of the jail.
Yeah, I saw that.
Because there was people hired in batches in the 90s. So we've got Homer and Stacy.
Yeah, they're.
From the court, and that's hard to replace. I might even have to go outside, because I don't think anybody in the jail is going to take the court positions, and I don't think anybody from the road. Those are sworn positions. So I might have to advertise for a village or a sworn person from outside to take those. And then Heidi Stanford is from the jail, and Lori Thompson as well. So we got 4 or 5 from the jail,
And
right?
is Cunningham
Oh,
going?
he is as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, my jail administrator.
He is.
Yes,
You gonna-
he is, and then I'm probably going to hire him back.
Okay.
Judiciary though, because I just don't have anybody ready for the jail administrator position yet, into that position, so.
When is he potentially?
April,
Okay.
yeah. So, have not discussed that yet,
Now,
but
I did put Homer on here, he's.
he's December 31st.
But
Donnie's
all
gonna
of the
retire.
pay for him will come out of the 26 budget.
Yes,
So I did
'cause
put him on there.
Correct.
that payroll
Correct.
would,
So,
yeah.
but, yeah.
Donnie's retiring this year.
Next year.
And Lori Thompson is our ICE liaison, so
Yes.
we're already preparing her replacement for that one.
Wait, I'm confused. Homer's retiring this year?
No, end of next year.
And, no, end of this year.
End of this year.
But it won't be for
All the
payroll next
pay
year.
will come
Yeah.
out because he's.
It's the end, it's the
December
last day of
31st,
Oh,
25.
Okay, sorry.
So
Yeah.
his numbers will be
Yeah.
on the
Okay.
26.
And then
I got-
Penwell
Wait,
is,
did I figure that wrong?
Penwell is May,
She was looking at me.
May. Lori is
She said April.
April. Stanford is May or
I thought somebody was September.
May. But anyway, so, and she's a senior.
There's your
Yeah,
list.
there's
You
my
gave me-
list. Thank you. Don Homer is December 31st. Kevin Reinbold on the road was March. Joe Cunningham is March 31st. Heidi Stanford was June 30th or October. She had a meeting in September.
to meet with
go to
Opers to-
Opers to see which one. Lori Thompson depends on her September appointment, which date, but she was
They both
hoping to go
said
April.
April and June.
And Stacy said sometime in 2026, again, an appointment. So, yeah.
Equipment pending.
So that's where you had that kind of baked in there, why maybe a little bit of an increase then? for-
Yes, for their
Yes,
payout.
and again-
Yes.
Okay.
Again.
That's
Just so
what I
they-
said,
Numbers will be
50.
cut.
Just to make
that's
you
a good
guys
question.
aware
That's what I was
of
gonna
what's
ask.
coming down the pike.
Okay,
Yeah.
and
why your
that's perfect,
court
that's great to
service-
know, that we know that there are those future retirements,
Yeah.
or,
Right.
because, again, we never budgeted for any of that
Yeah.
before,
Right.
and
We
it
need
was
more
always.
money.
It gives you a head up, it gives us a head up, because now we're going from you know, people that are making a top dollar.
Right, now you're gonna go
It's an
back to the
entry-level dollar.
entry level
Yeah.
again, and
Correct.
Yeah.
it kind of helps stabilize that budget a little bit.
Yep.
I didn't really see a whole lot of other,
There really isn't,
didn't
Not a
see
lot with the
whole lot
jail.
of
other than the
Food
food.
look, yeah, but it,
Yeah.
isn't that crazy?
Well, it is because there has been some food increases, but also we had, you know, a large amount of the detainees again at the beginning of the year and stuff like that.
How
That
many,
fluctuates.
do you have like an average, I mean, okay, what do you have today? How many do you have today?
Let me look at what I had last night. I think it was 58 is what, at midnight was my count. And then I don't know how many released today. I'll get another count at midnight.
Lot
Do you
more
have the other
turnover.
sheets that I gave
What's
you?
that?
The longer ones in your packet? May I please?
These ones?
Yes. I do believe the last 3 years' food has remained the same,
Roughly, yes.
other than last year.
Deleted.
23 and 24, we got 370, and last year we got 340. Though we have increased it, so
There it is.
not sure, but
It was probably just something.
I can get you added to this
Probably.
list if you want. I get it every
I've had it for a
midnight.
while.
I'm just curious. some
54
things.
is what I had last night. I just look at that line. It's the ICE Border Patrol detainees. I had 54 last night.
Okay.
But last week, I was 69, so it fluctuates.
Right, right.
And so,
And so does the
Robin
food
has to make the,
then.
yeah, so
And
like, we had
supplies,
54.
because we have to
Tomorrow it could be
uniforms.
45, so that's, you know, 9 more extra meals.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it just fluctuates up and down for that.
That's how she prepares.
Yeah,
She
because
gets-
she'll get a count
Yeah.
from
I see how it
the
works.
booking every morning
Yeah.
when they come in at 3 AM. Or I'm sorry, not at 3 AM, because Border Patrol will come roughly around 8 or 8:30. People get released at 8:30 as well, so then they get an accurate count around
Do they get
9 o'clock
breakfast
for
before
lunch,
they get
dinner,
released?
and breakfast the next day.
Do they get breakfast before they're released?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, because breakfast gets rolled out before 7 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Just curious.
yep.
So is ICE on your app then, for your, are they part of that group for the, you know, people in jail, or is that just local?
On here?
On that?
Yes. Yep, they are.
They're part of that.
Yep. And
Because
they'll
I see
be,
Sheriff Hilton on his, yours is good, the only thing is, his is like sorted by date, so, because
So-
otherwise you gotta go through alphabetical, you got.
so right now, Sherry is working on that. Ours is just a straight dump to the inmate locator, and it's gonna look more like Franklin County's and his, where it's a picture and then their info like that. So we're working with the company right now to do that. So that is just a straight picture and their info, instead of a kind of just going to a website link, and then you have to do some more finagling with it. So I'm not getting any reception in there, but yeah, they're on there as well, so.
Inmate medical. the
And
regular
medical.
week, we've had a lot by 1 or 2 inmates this year that have hit us pretty hard.
And that's hit or miss every year as well.
Yeah.
We have one inmate that's probably the bulk of it, he had about $360,000 worth of medical
Oh, geez.
bills, but it got, once we went to the billing
Repriced.
company with it, repriced down to about 30,000. But that's still one person.
Yeah.
Correct.
Because he likes to eat pencils, and then they have to send him out to specialists, you know, to clean out his stomach and stuff like that. So we've banned him from pencils, but then you could get lawsuits and stuff like that. So he's got mental issues, obviously, which again goes back to
Yeah.
us being a mental facility, the catch-all, and it's just, yeah. So that's just one person, and again, having that billing company being able to get those prices down and
What
stuff for
was,
us.
when we started, we had a specific meeting about medical bills,
Correct.
right? It was crazy. There were like grocery bags of bills.
Yes.
So how does it work now? It's better,
We-
obviously. Sounds like yes.
We
What did we do
streamlined that by
different?
going with one company for the
So,
medications. We go
okay.
through ICP, they bill us individually, per inmate, monthly. We
Okay.
do most of our OCTs with them as well, instead of us going out buying our own supplies.
Over-the-counter, yeah.
So things have kind of.
Way easier to track.
Yeah, and they come in those,
That way.
what
And
do
they
they call
come
them?
in individual
It's
distributions.
the amount, the
A
amount
blister pack.
still. is
Blister
the
packs,
issue,
thank you,
right?
the blister pack.
So you don't have near as the paperwork you.
No.
you have when you
No,
walk in the
Bonnie
door.
still has, she does our inmate, medical. We still receive the bills. She still has to make contact with the creditors and all of the, vendors.
And
Make sure that
hospital
they have the
knows
proper codes on
they're-
them, then we send
Every
them
once in a while,
gas and have them
it slips through and we
repriced.
have to,
Tell 'em.
So we are
Tell
paying
them,
for
yeah.
that service, because those codes change each year.
I'll have a
based
little
upon
mini
their
stroke
code.
when I get a
So-
$100,000 bill from Mercy or
But
something.
we've
It's
got it
like,
streamlined out, yeah.
we're not paying it.
I mean, it's a lot easier, but
Or a life flight bill.
I
Oh, yeah,
can't.
yep.
Okay, that's good to know.
It's
But the amount is what it is.
Yes.
I mean, at the end.
And those are all the unknowns because like somebody, well, we just had, here's an example. And I just told Chuck that we gotta get with the judges and get some type of a protocol for when somebody comes in for a 3-day weekend, you know, they have to come in for DUI and serve a 3-day weekend. And they then go into withdrawal. Well, they have to go to the emergency room because we're not equipped to deal with somebody that's crashing and we just don't have those type of equipment. And then the ER decides to ship them lifeline because they are crashing. And then now we have security, both at the ER, now we have to go with them up to Toledo. And they're up there and they haven't been released yet. And so we have all those bills are on us. The machines that they use, the doctor specialists and everything like that. So we gotta be able to contact that judge on the weekend and say, this person needs to be medically furloughed. They can do their weekend another time. Don't put that on the taxpayers, you know? And so that's just a meeting that we need to have
Mayor should help
with the
you.
judges
With the
and stuff like
judges.
that.
Judges.
Judges. This isn't a mental health.
Yeah,
meeting.
no, it's-
Yeah.
But it's,
See,
but,
it's a set.
I
um,
totally see it.
but that's just one incident, but there's other ones. And we have done that in the past when we have knowledge of somebody coming in and they have medical issues or something like that. But it's a case-by-case basis because obviously it's what type of crime do they have
Judge.
and what's the severity of it. You know, you got somebody in there that's on rape or something like that, you're not gonna give them medical furlough.
Right.
But somebody that's just there for the weekend, you know, we gotta be able to do that. And we gotta train our people to be able to know who to call, when to call, and stuff like that, so that we don't get stuck. Because, yeah, it might be only $5,000 this weekend, but those all add up.
Sure.
And that's why sometimes our medical expenses are 75,000 or 100,000 one year, 200,000 another year, or whatever. So the best we can do to try to lower that is to keep an eye on it, do what we can do to have protocols in place to stop the bleeding of that stuff, so to speak. So,
Came a long way.
The auditor's
try.
office has,
Yeah. That's good.
gone to several trainings and been updated more, and we're able to streamline, I guess, refine how they're being entered to avoid the then and nows and
Yes.
the
Any
court
other
orders and all of that, so, and I
Yeah.
think really truly that was what they
That's
were
good.
mostly upset at that point, because there was no real guideline as to how to put those in. But
So we have Commissioner Bustecker.
Are we at that point?
You're
Yep.
at that
we're at that
You're
point,
up.
table's yours.
Where,
Did you end up getting the stuff on all the
Oh.
computer stuff sent to you over the last couple of weeks about all the different computers you have?
Yeah, I actually had an intern come in today and he asked me for my numbers on my laptop and my computer and stuff like that.
Okay. So I sent additional stuff today to Jared.
Okay.
What I've been trying to do is trying to put together, using the auditor's asset list. Buckeye had a list of computers that were accessing the network back in February, trying to put together a spreadsheet list for every department in the county. Because if you didn't listen to all of it, the auditor state, we're gonna get audited at some point in time.
Yep.
And we have to have the stuff on file. It has to go all down to the lowest denominator of, it's your computer, it's your username, it's the device name, all that needs to be put onto a spreadsheet per person, all the way down.
Gotcha.
So it's a lot, and trying to use the auditor's asset list, it's not exactly quite up to date. If no one's got their disposals done, or they haven't taken the disposals off, even with that. The only thing I'm really using from that auditor's list is a tag number, and then maybe the general of the computer, but we need to know more than that in the situation of you got a Windows 10 computer and whether it can be updated or not. Because you guys have right now, potentially, you might need 25 computers need replaced. You might need 50 that are updated. I don't know.
Right.
But without that list, it makes it really hard to take your department, his department, everybody else's department together, so we can put together asking, I can ask these guys in a meeting for a budget number to get approved, so I can get RCR to get new computers for who can get them.
We'll just start with a fresh list.
Right, right.
Before
Get rid of
I
the old
left,
stuff.
it was towards about a year and a half ago, 2 employees there. We personally
Yeah.
did walkthroughs of the.
I wanted to
so
know
I already
myself,
had
right.
an in-house listing, and then as Buckeye left, they were turning things over to Jared, and I gave him my current list that I had and where they were at. And then the intern was going around this week to verify our in-house, because yes, some computers are on your desktop and it's reporting in. But what about the other computers that we have that are in the closet because we had to pull that, or,
Right,
so
exactly.
he's
That's-
going
Yeah.
around doing
the
a
other-
physical
Right.
check of
Yeah,
everything
that's
on
awesome.
all of the lists combined to make
Yeah.
sure that we have them there.
Because I wanted to
It's a lot.
know.
You guys have probably the top, one of the
Yes.
top 3 biggest lists that's in the county. So it's a lot, and to not have a clean list.
Right.
That's the problem too, is because, I mean, we talk about Wood County, we talk about
Yes.
different businesses that have been burned.
Well,
But I
if
can-
it happens in your, we need to know exactly what computer it was.
I do not
And
disagree with that.
That way we can
Lock it down.
The
isolate
intern,
it.
does the intern work with Jared? Is that who?
No, he
Chuck's
works
got
with the
him
chief.
walking around,
Okay.
doing all the tag assets and
He's
stuff
just
like
going
that.
around physically checking all the locations.
Into every
and
office, every.
So what I did
Tags
was,
and all of that.
Perfect.
I sent you guys initially a list, but I sent another list to Jared today.
Okay.
Because I tried to put some stuff together, I'm like, there's probably several more, there's some less, some of these are all garbage numbers, I don't even know. But if I can try to put it together and try to help simplify it, it's a lot. Again, it's a lot in your department, then add in the rest of the county.
Yep.
And
She
we
always
have-
worked.
We have to have all this, no matter what, if, ands, or buts, done before January 1st.
Wow.
Yeah, I was trying to get Buckeye on board.
Part of cybersecurity.
And
Yes.
2, to get a complete listing and give me a 5-year rotational plan.
That
for
was
us to
our goal.
replace our computers.
That's why we
what
were
we've
trying to
been
get them-
working on. So we have
So
a
that
good
we can
jump
come to
start
you with
into what we
numbers.
have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's
what we
a
all really
great
want.
goal, and I think that's what we would love to be able to do across the county. It's gonna be hard, because even with what Buckeye would have done, or now what we have RCR doing, you have what computers that are accessing the network and computers that never access the network. It doesn't mean that those computers still aren't needed, and it doesn't mean that they're not gonna be up to date or not up to date, or that they could serve as a problem for the network. So,
Right. And until you don't know what the solution is.
and we
Right.
don't know how many computers are needed to say, okay, let's budget for $150,000.
Right.
And it turns out we need $500,000.
Right.
Because of
Right.
our servers that are out in the wind too, that potentially, that need replaced. So, depending on server, it's anywhere between 10,000 and, I don't know, 50. So,
That big Pro Phoenix job that was in process with Buckeye IT, that's been completed.
The server? Yes.
Is that what it was?
Yes.
The
Yes.
server? Okay.
Shared
So
server,
we're
yeah.
good.
Yes.
The shared server.
The shared server is ready.
finished.
It's done. It's up and running, yes.
And as a result, your calls are down? You're having less problems?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
okay. That was part of.
We're
that was
having
part of
problems
your
out at the
problem.
sheriff's office on our secure access though.
Okay.
Because we just found out while I was out there at our conference that Buckeye IT didn't pay for our not warranty, what is it? Maintenance on secure
Service
access.
agreement.
Yes.
Service agreement.
About a year and a half, so it's going down several times a day. That's for us to be able to log in on our MDTs. on our laptops from home and stuff like that. So we're working on a fix for that. So,
Okay.
So back to the computers, and because of Windows 10 and 11, the sooner we can get a list,
yep,
the better. And I mean, I'm saying the end all date of January 1st that's the federal or the state government.
right.
But what we need, so we can budget computers, is way, way long before that.
Right, right.
Otherwise, everybody's gonna go without, and we'll probably have to close them out of the system.
Well, we will get you,
I'll work with the chief and
Yep.
the intern to make sure that you have it in hand on Monday.
yep.
If you can do that, that's amazing.
Well, we're ahead of the game, like I said, a year or two ago, or year and a half ago, we asked them to do that, and they gave us the list of all the computers in our building. So we have that list, it's just a matter of
Refining, make sure
refining the
everything's where
list to
it's
make
at,
sure
the right
the
serial
offices haven't been
numbers.
moved around in a year and a
I'm
half
trying
and
to
stuff
find the
like
fixed
that.
asset
Yeah.
numbers
So
for them all
actually-
because that.
You may not get it to
I'm
FA.
gonna hand you this.
I know, that's
This-
where I'm at.
This is what the auditor
So that's
asked
why
for.
we're physically manually checking them
This
all.
is just how it's laid out in the
Yes.
different pieces. Those are the pieces I need. And what I did is I tried to use a PDF file from Buckeye and trying to, pull it apart, even though when you try to like put it back in Excel, nothing functions
Nothing goes
correct.
the same way.
So that's what those pages are so horribly put together. But those are ones that I know that were
I always think
Buckeyes.
that-
And again, half of those might not exist anymore. That's just
No,
what
but
Buckeye
you,
had. And I
yeah.
tried
You
to
have
put
one,
stuff
Judge?
together what I could.
I will definitely check the.
There could be 50 more computers, I have no idea.
The asset tags on here, yeah. No, and per, was it Oleg that we just went through? We have to have
Yeah.
a very strict.
We had an
disposal,
OLEG inspection.
Process for our computers, so
Okay.
we will.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Good.
they said that.
Michelle stuff.
Huh?
Michelle answers stuff.
Yeah. No, we did good. We passed. Yeah.
I would hope so.
Yes.
Good
I was
to see
worried.
her. See ya.
See ya. Thank you.
Are we on the record now?
We're always on
I
the
don't think we've
record.
been off the record yet.
Okay.
This should go fairly quickly and fairly easily.
I would think so.
Just requirement of ORC, that's all.
Yeah. Real quick as to the computers, Lisa's finishing that up now. as we
Okay.
speak. So you should
I
have
did
our
send that
list
again to you
in the
today.
in the next day or so. I would presume you'll have that back, and ours is small.
So the big thing was
And I think when he
Ours
sent
is
it,
just clearing off the old and matching up the tag numbers with
Right.
the users,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah.
So,
and I think what he sent was all of Common Pleas, so.
Well, what I did,
Did you-
I initially gave that to
Oh,
Judge
Schuff.
Schuff, and he pulled apart his stuff, and I tried to send you just, please one.
yeah.
Okay.
So she's finishing that up,
So
matching
now-
tag numbers, and then,
All those other departments, like probation, pivot, who do I get that information?
gotta go, probably through us. Did they provide any of that?
Well, there's some pieces of that Buckeye had.
Oh,
But-
that should be simple
But-
because they're all brand new
Yeah, those should-
in this year.
Those should
So
be super easy.
there's no disposals for
Yeah.
probation or, because we got those as needed for the personnel that came over from the county.
Yeah, and that's only been a
So-
year or so.
Yeah, I
you
know,
guys
so
have
that
done,
should
so,
be almost
we
entirely
could
accurate.
Probably send those specifically to,
Kathy
Kathy Brooks
I'll send it to
and.
For probation, yeah, yeah.
No,
Don't do that. And Carly Gorman.
And Carly, yeah,
So Carly would handle pivot, and Kathy Brooks would handle
probation.
probation, and I don't think there's, I can't foresee any disposals, because that was all
No,
brand new
those should have
equipment
all been brand
acquired.
new, yeah. Mhm.
So the tag numbers for the auditor's office, everything should match up exactly. to
And
the
those should all be
users.
Windows 11 computers.
Yeah, they better be.
So,
Yeah, so,
So we have,
oh, I'm good.
we have a former CPA and a county treasurer here, so we're now talking about budget. And
I don't like those. I'm not like that.
just for the record, where did you go to your undergrad?
Eastern Michigan, it was cheaper in Ohio.
Eastern Michigan?
Let me have a car.
And then law school,
It was same as in-state in Ohio.
and
Yeah.
then law school was where?
UT.
Okay.
Yep.
Did you go right into law school?
No, I had about a year.
Were you
and
an
then-
accountant then?
Yeah, I was in the
Firm or
accounting
something?
through No, I didn't do big A. I didn't.
Went into accounting. That was your.
I didn't care for accounting that much, so it was a necessary
Okay.
degree to get me into law school. So, but I did work in accounting firms.
Are you coming
Probably
Monday?
6 years.
No, he cannot.
No,
He sent
I
an
sent an
email.
email
I
this
saw
morning.
it.
I have an all-day hearing both days, the 6th and 7th. That's not going out, unfortunately. I'd rather come, but fortunately I can't, so.
Well, welcome. We are recording this meeting,
Okay.
and we're now meeting with Judge Hall. Just a working session, budget hearing, going through the 2026 budget. And we all have a copy of what you submitted on the expense side. We're pretty much, that's really what we're talking about. And, you know, it's pretty straightforward.
The only, I gotta make sure I'm getting the right line. Thank you. I was like, wait a minute, what is going on here? Okay, so that is the travel line, okay, I assumed that was the money that was put back in. I don't have really a whole lot, I just have a couple of questions. It looks like there was an increase for your salaries, for your employees, slight increases here.
I believe we put in 3%. I think that was the same as what the other judges had put
Doesn't
in.
look like 3.
I think it's 4.
No, it came in less than that. It came in like 0.5%.
No, more than that, I figured it up.
No, I think it,
Oh, am I missing something? 124 to 129? That's 0.04%.
yeah, that's what I thought, it was like 4% or something.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 0.04, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's 4%, it's a 4%
Which is-
increase. That was my only,
Yeah.
that was really my only,
apologize. I actually
the only thing
thought it was
that,
less than 0.5%, but I thought I had the right number wrote down. Okay, but yeah, the prior, the other two judges were at 3.
Okay, so I've been snafu on our part.
just a calculation
Because we
error
were
or
supposed
something,
to
yeah. Yeah, I
keep in line with the other judges when they said they were doing 3. I thought we were
The
putting
three of
in
you worked
3.
together.
so-
Is that okay?
Okay, yeah, because we put in 0 just, and then we'd adjust it, but.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I just followed in line with what the other judges were doing since we're all in the same building, so.
And
Just
right
making
here,
sure that
0.04.
everybody gets to say kind of the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Request.
He did put $5,000 in for travel. I know that they do have to have some CE credits that
You have to,
him and his magistrate have to have.
yeah.
A little bit of an increase in his supplies, $1,000. Just, I think that's just the increased cost of,
Yeah, rate of inflation.
and depending on if he has,
On
how
the
many
year.
jury trials he has, or things that, of that nature.
Yeah, and I think Judge Shuff handles the dual budget for the joint budget,
Yeah.
like on indigent counsel
Yep,
fees. And
yep, he already
probably
took care of that.
already talked to you guys on that, so.
Mhm.
Yeah, good.
I think overall, most items should be about the same as last year.
They are.
It was
Just
just
refresh my
3.
memory, so we have a magistrate, and what's your staff? We have 3?
Yeah, I have a domestic relations bailiff, criminal bailiff, and then court administrator, civil bailiff. So we
Okay,
have
and then
3 in
on
the
the-
office and the magistrate.
And then on a joint basis, you run the pivot court together.
Yeah, but that's a whole
That's a
separate budget, that's not
separate budget.
included in this, yeah. It'd be out of probation and then also pivot.
Probation, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so we had drug kits in there,
Mm-hmm.
and,
And
Yeah,
that
that's-
should be on the budget request,
That
and
was
Judge
on-
Shuff
yeah.
had submitted.
He did a
that
joint. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
trying to
because
just
we have a
refresh
couple of
my-
those line items, and I don't think that joint budget would be for the probation side either, correct?
I don't think
Because
it
we
is.
still have
Was it?
our probation side.
He did have
which
4.
Probation's covered under, for the most part, under TCAP.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're not asking for money for probation.
I'm just connecting dots for my benefit.
Mhm.
But I do understand that, yeah.
Because I don't think there's a whole lot of line items under that joint. might be, like you had said, the drug hits, we have our indigent counsel fees, I think, transcript fees, I think.
There was only a few line items,
Yeah.
but it's not,
Right.
And we just kind of split that.
Has it always been
whatever's
like that?
awarded, you split it in half, yeah.
It's been like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then if I need more in indigent counsel, I'll go talk to Judge Shaw. Maybe he'll say, okay, I have X amount of dollars, I look through the rest of the year, here, try this, see if this is enough. If not, then
Then they come
you're
back,
asked
yeah.
to the Commissioner's office, which thankfully it's still at 82% reimbursement rate. So, and, yeah, so that's still good.
Yeah.
But we did have an appeal come from one of the murder cases we had, and Public Defender's Office handled it. It was a $4,000 bill. Yeah, which I didn't think they would charge us. I thought since it's an 82% reimbursement rate that when you use the Public Defender's Office, they would not, but, or at least maybe a reduced rate. You know, I mean, that's almost double what we typically pay out in appeals, you know, on
Okay.
cases. It was a serious case, but still. It's pretty substantial, you know, $5,000 on one case. But at least we're reimbursed at 82%, so that helps now.
It's pretty straightforward.
I just have
Yeah,
one
go ahead.
odd question. For your other expenses, do you have any idea what that all entails? It's gotta be some sort of membership
It's,
or something like that, that I'm assuming is,
yeah, typically you have, there's the memberships for judges associations, the magistrates association. So you have those, same as your CCAO
yeah, okay.
organizations, and that's what I believe that consists of.
Okay. I don't have any other questions. I
You-
mean,
Is your building okay? You happy with the building? We're
happy with maintenance and everything
We're
that's
spending
going
a
on
lot of
there.
time.
I don't, I've never
I'm sorry,
had
I
any
should've
issues
added that. I
with
mean
maintenance. I really don't have any
Okay.
issues with
Yeah.
maintenance.
last couple of years, that's been a big topic for us.
Oh, really?
We've worked, yeah, all the buildings.
It seems like whenever I
Since
reached out
COVID, all the
before,
problems, you know, so we've really
well,
worked
ours is
hard.
new though, so it's not quite
Yeah.
the same as some of the other ones like the
That-
jail or
that's nice.
something like
That
that.
helps, yeah.
And I'm sure the jail, the use on the building's probably a lot different too, you know, it's a little harder use with people in and out, you know.
That's a good point.
Versus just coming in during the days, but yeah, so far everything's running right. Seems like it's working well, so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this is, you might be one of the quickest
Yeah.
ones we've had.
We didn't have a bunch of asks, so I didn't think there was gonna be a whole lot of questions.
No, no.
Makes it easier, doing
Doing a
it's like a
great job.
$20,000 ask.
Right.
And then there's gonna be a few questions
A
usually.
little more
yeah.
questions, yeah.
Doing a great job over there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep, so
And I know you're part of the
so-
grants, and you, on the income side, you guys work hard over there for.
Right now, we're very fortunate with the grants.
Yeah.
But, you know, if you look at it on the TCAP side, they do, you know, we do have more costs on the local side, but we're mindful that we utilize our probation department a lot more instead of just incarceration on the local level. You
Right.
know, we're using community control, we're using the probation officers, looking at other treatment programs, things like that, that's available in lieu of incarceration, you know, in our
That's good.
F4s, F5s. So, yeah, because even though we're getting the TCAP money, we still have to pay cost of housing Seneca County Jail level. So we're mindful of that as well. Sometimes that's our only option, but we try to explore all other options before we resort to that.
Is the docket for 2025 pretty consistent?
It seems
Prior
like it is.
years.
It's always busy, yeah.
You just,
It
some
seems-
severity
yeah.
goes up and down.
I don't think it's
Or-
like drastic levels. Our civil side, we're up quite a bit this year.
Huh.
We're seeing more cases on the civil side, but I think criminal's pretty consistent.
Huh.
You know,
Okay, just
on
curious.
Year numbers.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but civil side, I think we've jumped up quite a bit this year. So, which criminal takes up the most time, but it's the least number of cases.
Correct.
You know, so it's
Yeah.
interesting.
You want to talk?
I already talked to
Get 'em
him.
all
We already took
down?
care of, yep.
On the computer side, yes, I
His
got
computer,
Commissioner
yep,
Busdecker's
everything.
email, and I think Lisa's
He's
finishing
on
it
top
up.
of it.
Yep.
Well, he was already over,
Yeah, I went
Commissioner
over to see
Busdecker
that
was, and we had
a couple
talked,
weeks
so I think we had a lot of our questions answered there. I think we just not quite get the form back to him in time, so We're
okay.
finishing it up. It should be the next day or so. We only have about 12 computers. I think most of ours should all be disposed off, and double check with the auditor's office, make sure they got all the disposals so they can have a good clean list. But yeah, if you guys reach out to probation, Kathy Brooks, and also Carly
Carly
Gorman
Gorman.
for Pivot.
Okay.
But those should be pretty straightforward because we haven't had any disposals. I
Right,
think
and those
we had
are-
to get a whole new server
Yeah, I
and
think
everything
those were
else
all
for
brand
that
new
over
for
there.
that.
Yeah, it was pretty
Last
substantial.
July, was that? a year
Yeah.
ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, that was substantial in the infrastructure, I think, expense.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good, yeah.
Hey,
How's
Question.
revenue look for next year?
They certified 23.
Three.
5.
23.
23.5.
23. Yes.
we're up 5
We're at 5.
over last year.
5 million?
500.
Yeah, we were-
I wish it was 5 million.
Just keep my fingers crossed.
Yeah, and the bad news is our health costs, but you know, it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
The renewal was up $606,000 a year.
Wow.
And then the impact to the general fund is about 300 plus. The employees are still paying 15%,
Mhm.
we're paying 85.
Mhm.
The employee rate is going up 11%.
Wow.
So if you go back 7 years, there was about a 5-year period where it was flat. I think it was less than 2% average over 5 years. And then last year was 7, and this year's 11 to the employees. But we looked at options. One of the options was to go to 80/20, which private industry pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And if we were to do that, employees would have had to, what was the increase, 43%?
43 or 42%.
40-some%. So we held it at 15.
Yeah.
And we have, the plan's exactly the same. We kept the HSA the same and the wellness the same.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going into next year with that.
Yeah, because it's kind of a big issue, because trying to attract talent to come over
Correct.
from private sector, you used to have perks. It was your health insurance
Yeah. The good
and
old
your
days.
retirement, you know, that was your perk of public service.
Right.
You're not gonna get the highest rate of pay, but you had these benefits. Now we're kind of right back on the same playing field, paying
Yeah.
less in compensation, because even if even if you would grant the budget request for a 3% increase, look at how much health insurance costs. It's a negative increase really on their pay.
You know,
So, and that's the hard thing.
a family rate, the $3,500 deductible HSA plan was $2,600 for a
Mhm.
family.
Yeah,
And that's with CCAO, their max increase is 18%.
18%.
Is the max that we could get.
yeah,
In the private sector, if you were to pay 20% of that, I mean, it's crazy. Health
It
insurance
is.
is just, it's unbelievable.
Mhm.
And we're trying the best we can to do our, to absorb as much as
Yeah.
we can. And again, we have to absorb 300,000 of it.
yeah.
But we don't see it going, it's gonna go up next year. We're trending a little better. We may not have the increase we had, which was 14.6% or something was ours. We weren't at 18.
No.
But, that.
It's still
double
higher than
digit.
we were hoping for.
Mhm.
So we're trying to do that,
Yeah.
right?
Do you see increases too on the property side
Yeah,
with insurance?
10% at least.
Is it passing through all the states now
10%.
from everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
And, underwriting's just tougher. I mean,
Mhm.
everything's
Yeah, they're just
tight.
passing on the losses
Yeah.
across the.
So we're
industry.
trying to,
Yeah.
to do everything we can.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, see how it goes. This is fluid. We're
Mhm.
I think we're
Yeah.
getting into stuff and, good job on your end, so appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Any questions, just let me know.
Yeah, no, it's been
Thank
great.
you.
So, how do you adjourn court?
Adjourned.
Sure.
You're all rise.
Yeah. Everybody runs out.
You just say adjourned and everybody.
Yep, they scatter.
They start talking. Hey, thank you.
Yep, thank you.
How many years is this for you? Refresh my memory.